Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah. Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and
good evening. I hope you're good.
Oh,
Good evening, Max. Good evening, sir. Happy Thursday, D-Rex. I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Elder Adegbenga, what happened on Monday? We saw you briefly and you were just off. I don't think I saw your brake light after. You didn't come into the box. But I hope you're okay. Happy Thursday. Everyone joining as well. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for liking that live already. Thank you. TikTok says this would help other people joining once they see the likes go up. So please, you're fine. Thank God. Thank God. I hope work is not too tedious. There's always work. We try to go to sleep early so that we can meet up with work the next day. But we thank God. Yes, good evening everyone. Thank you so much wherever you're joining from. Please let us know where you're joining from, which part of the world, what time is it over there. Let's know. I really want to know. And I hope life is treating us well. Imagine we have I think 10 more days before this month will come to an end. It's gone so fast, if I'm honest. I mean, well, feels so for me. It's gone so fast. Kem Joy, good evening. Thanks for joining in. I hope we're keeping well. Tista Fortism, good evening. Wow, should I say Happy New Year to you? It's been a long time. I hope you've been keeping well and I hope your family is well too. Thank you so much for joining in today. Oh wow, Chinex, good evening. Tessa, I hope you are good. It's been a long while, I think. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's Thursday on Inside with FunmiRoyal and we'll talk marriage talks today. Please join me. This one is a very crucial one. In fact, I think it's one of the leading causes of separation and divorce in a marriage relationship. Let us dare to talk about it. Prophetess Eli, I see you. Is it Eli or Eli? Good evening to you. I hope you are keeping well. Thanks so much for joining us. And here on Inside, this is my belief. This is our belief here, that God is the author of the marriage institution. And when we get stuck from time to time, we will get stuck. We need to consult the book of life, the Bible, and, consult it and see what the Word of God is saying about conflict resolution in marriage. We're looking at conflict resolution in marriage. Kathy, good evening. I hope you're keeping well. Please, guys, help me share this live to your friends, your loved ones. Let them be part of our talk today. I hope my voice is not going to crack. It's out of tiredness, to be honest with you. Thank you, guys. Please help me tap your screen. If you click down on your screen for about 3-4 seconds, hold it down and you're like, good evening, and some names will pop up on your screen. Just click send to all of them and scroll all the way down and send to all of your friends. Let them be part of our talk today. The guarantor, I see you. Relationship clinic with Eno, good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ajayi-Daniels, for sharing. Pat, good evening. I see you. Yeah, it's very important because these are topics that sometimes we don't want to talk about it, but it's affecting our marriage relationship. Let's dare to talk about it here on Inside. Let's talk about it, charge one another. Good evening, my dear. I hope you're good. And how is Mr. Anthony as well? I hope he's good. The sound is very low. Is it the music or my voice? Let me see. I don't want the voice to, the music is quite loud. My voice. I was just saying before you surface that I'm a bit tired, so I think it's kind of showing in my voice, but I'll try to project. I just don't want my voice to go cracking, so to say. Young Chooks, I see you. Joom Skit, good evening. I don't know if it's any better because I've had to increase the volume to the highest now. Yes, so don't mind me. I was like, am I going to just cancel tonight because I'm tired? Let me have a power nap if I can just squeeze that in and try to refreshen a bit. But the voice, for me, once I'm tired, you can tell from my voice. Eat it. I don't know how to pronounce that name. My goodness. Blessing Osag. Is it Osagi or Sag? That's all I can see on my screen. Good evening to you, Young Chooks. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, I'm gonna go into the talk, and maybe Eno, you have to increase the volume of your device as well. Intro D, I think. Good evening to you. I hope you are well. So I'm gonna go into this talk because it's a bit lengthy. I just want to break it down as much as possible because there's so many aspects. I can't even still cover all aspects of this talk. However, oh, community just teared up. Oh, congratulations. So that's the message I've just received from TikTok. FunmiRoyal's 15's community just teared up. So I think I've gone, let me see what level I am there. Popular live. What else is coming up? I want to see the level D2 top 99%. Okay, so League D2 actually. Okay, we're getting there gradually. It's just because I'm sure it's because I come on just twice a week. I can't do every day for the life of me. I don't know how I'll cope. Or you can use a mic as an alternative. It's difficult to hear you. Aguila, good evening. Thanks for joining. Can you hear me? And would you maybe should log off and come back in? Because to be honest with you, even I used to use a mic before, but there was no difference really. And it just takes time to connect here and there. So I'm like, what's the point? And this has always been my setup, my normal setup that you would hear me normally. So Eno, maybe you should come out, close the app, and open and come back in, and hopefully it might be better. Kate's girl, can you hear me? Be clean hair. Is it be clean hair? If you can. Elder Adebenga, are you still there? Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me clearly, because thank you for the heart to me. Thank you, sir. Yes, you can hear me clearly. Okay. So, Eno, maybe you should do that. Queen Duet, I see you. Log back loud and clear. Okay, thank you so much, because I want to believe so, because I've not done anything different tonight. So, Eno, if you log out, close the app completely and try to come back in. And please don't go and sleep now. I'll be expecting you back. When you come back, just say hello. Yes, thank you so much. I'll go into the talk. Let's try to reflect. Also reflecting, even preparing it alone is more than reflection for me. Ironhide, good evening. Thanks for joining in. Please help me share this live. Elder Kenneth, good evening to you. I hope you are good. So we're looking at conflict resolution in marriage, and today's topic is very important, and it affects every marriage, almost every marriage. I've not been in every marriage, but I want to believe this happens in every marriage. Conflict resolution. Thank you, Leslie. Good evening. Thanks for the heart to me. So, conflict is a normal part of every relationship. Trust me. In fact, I don't think I've seen that relationship that have not gone through it. It may not be regular as some others, of like for some others, but definitely, it's something that happens in every relationship. So, like I said, conflict is a normal part of every relationship. Whenever two people from different backgrounds, personalities, opinions, and experiences come together, disagreements are inevitable. You know, whether it's friends, co-workers, let alone marriage, that you're going to be, oh, don't even think it's not going to be. Okay, there's a bit of engagement going on there. Please help me share this live as you're joining in. Let everyone be part of this talk. So even the happiest couple experience misunderstandings and moments of tension. Eno, you're welcome back. I hope it's better. If not, I don't know what I would have to do. Maybe you connect it to a what do you call it now, a speaker or something. I don't know, but so far so it's same. Oh, I think it might be from your end, because Elder Adegbenga just confirmed he can hear me loud and clear. And I've also tried to project, but I don't want to shout. I don't want to appear as shouting. But all the same, I don't know how else I can help really. So the issue really is not whether conflict will happen. The real issue is how do couples handle conflict when it comes, because surely it is gonna come. So some couples allow conflict to destroy communication, intimacy, and trust. Others allow others, they learn how to use conflict as an opportunity for growth, understanding, and deeper connection. I personally believe that, the more conflict you experience, because it's a new thing, you haven't been through it with this person, that's why you're having that conflict. And at the end of the day, you're in this marriage relationship. By the time you resolve things, you find out that you've grown deeper, with one another. Aqua, I think, I see you. Good evening. So, a strong marriage is not one without problems. A strong marriage is one where both partners learn how to resolve problems in a healthy and a mature way. But we know that sometimes they handle these things in an unhealthy and very immature way. And that's why we're talking about it now, before it starts leading to separation or divorce, because this is another factor that really breaks couples up. So let's try to understand conflict in marriage. What is conflict in marriage? Let's try to understand that. Conflict simply means disagreement. Disagreement happens because husbands and wives are different people with different personalities, like I've said, different expectations, different communication styles, and different emotional needs. So, conflict itself is not bad, like I said. In fact, conflict can reveal areas that need attention and improvement in any marriage relationship. So, many marriages do not fail because conflict exists. That's not the reason they fail, because the way they handle the conflict, they handle it very poorly, and things tend to go southwest. And you find people saying, oh, I need a break, you need a break, let's go this way, go that way. And all, sometimes it doesn't even matter how long you've been together in that relationship. So it brings us to looking at common causes of conflict in marriage. They are common, but these are things we need to identify, because like I said, conflict, they're gonna happen. Light one, heavy one, strong ones, one that will almost tear you apart if care is not taken. So common causes of conflict in marriage. So many things can cause conflict. However, I'm going to mention few. Try to explain it well. By the time I say it, you will know what it means. First one, always on Thursdays, poor communication. One of the biggest causes of conflict is poor communication. Problem arise when couples do not listen properly, misunderstand each other, speak harshly. This is very common when there's a conflict, or avoid difficult conversations. Some in the relationship, the husband might be the talker, the wife might not be. The wife might be the talker, the husband might not be. So different types, you know. Some husband and wife, both of them can talk for the life of me, but when it comes to this difficult conversation, you find out that both of them, they've lost their voices. And then you'll be wondering. So sometimes couples hear words but fail to understand the feelings. So communication is not only about talking, it is about listening with patience and with empathy. And this sometimes, because of that conflict, is kind of missing in there somewhere. And you find out that these are things, even before you go into that marriage relationship, things you ought to talk about. Don't just sit and assume that, oh, they're okay, you're okay, and you're bringing things on. But sometimes you just assume because we are okay financially, the other party is okay as well. And we never talk about it because you just assume that. So one spouse may want to save while the other prefers spending. Financial, big number one cause of divorce, really. So without honesty and teamwork, financial tension can damage peace in that home. And this has happened not once, not twice, so many times in many homes. Another cause of conflict is unmet expectations. Many people enter marriage with expectations they never communicate clearly or never even communicated at all. Examples include expectations about affection, how you want to be loved, how you want to love. You don't talk about this because you feel, oh, I'm in love, they're in love, we're in love, and you really don't talk about it. But unmet expectations, you feel there should be, affection towards you in a certain way, and they're not even thinking about it, and you refuse to talk about it. And you just assume that they should know to be affectionate in this way. As simple as that is, can become a big problem. Examples also include household responsibilities, parenting, intimacy, or lifestyle. So many. So when expectations are not discussed, disappointment will develop if it's going to happen. So talk about these things. Don't overlook anything, because any aspect of marriage that is overlooked is going to bring about a conflict. It's going to bring about some misunderstandings or disagreement. So you have to talk about these things and not assume that the other person should know what you are thinking in your head. Another cause is differences in personality. Some people are naturally calm while others are expressive. Some are organized while others are spontaneous, whether money concern or in decision making or whatever it is. Differences are normal, and that's why you're your unique self. But couples must learn to appreciate and manage those differences wisely. Otherwise, there will be conflict. Another one, which is silent but very loud. I want to believe you understand. It's very silent in a way because it will not come and speak of itself, but then it's very loud. Pride and ego. And this one will not gender biased. Pride is dangerous in marriage. Pride makes people refuse correction. Your spouse cannot correct you because you feel, who is this person to come and correct you after you've been living your life certain way and all has been good and all of that. But now it's not just your life, it's your life with this person, trying to combine two lives into one. And if you don't speak the same language, most of the time there will be conflict. So pride is a dangerous part in marriage. It's silent or it's very loud. When spouse or pride makes a couple or individuals refuse correction, avoid apologizing, insist on being right all the time, there will be problem. And struggling to forgive. Look, you better go and rethink this forgiveness. It's been coming up almost here and there. I think even in my church a couple of weeks ago, it was talked about forgiveness. You find out that it stops, it makes people to get stuck. When you don't forgive, certain things will not just happen. And this is just how God has designed these things to be. Therefore, free yourself, free this person, so that everyone can move on with life. Say you don't want to forgive, it's like drinking poison and thinking the other person will die. that is never going to happen. Otherwise, may we not kill ourselves in the process. That's what I'll say. So in many marriages, arguments continue not because the issue is big, but because pride is bigger. Like I said, it's silent, but it's very loud. So these are causes, and we need to pay attention to it. There's so many other causes of conflicts in relationship or in marriage, but I'll just mention those few because I have so many aspects I want to cover as well. So, negative ways of handling conflict. Yes, remember we talked about poor communication and all of that. So, unfortunately, many couples handle conflict destructively, even without realizing. Mind you, you're both on this journey of marriage together. You have not been here before. Even if you've been in marriage before, not with this person right now in your life. So you're both going on this new journey. Every single day you sleep and wake up, waking up to another day, it's another part of your journey. You have something to learn in there. So let's look at negative ways of handling conflict. So if you can identify one or two, perhaps it's time to rethink. Shouting and harsh words. This one is common. In fact, if you're the meekest person on earth, if you're the most gentle person or gentlest, I don't know, whatever English now, person on earth, you find out that when things get heated up, the voice comes out, and at that time you're not really thinking about, oh, are you shouting or are you harsh with your words? Sometimes you're not. But if you're some people, there's levels to shouting and harsh words, trust me. But these are, some negative ways of handling conflicts that couples tend to engage with, and it's not really helpful. Angry words can cause deep emotional wounds, and once you hear those words, you cannot unhear them. Anyway, let me not jump my note. Once hurtful words are spoken, they cannot be taken back easily. Even if you apologize for saying those words, from time to time, when you have small arguments, those words will keep ringing in your spouse's mind, and it can aggravate whatever is going on. Not that they haven't forgiven, but to forget is going to be hard. Some people, you have to be extra deliberate in forgetting certain things your spouse have said to you, because you're still going to see them every day. You're going to lie down on the same bed. You're still going to be eating the same plate and all of that, and you remember those words. So it takes a lot of effort and work. So let's be mindful. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." Even in anyone, I dare say, no matter how gentle you are, you haven't heard the harshest word, you will get angry. Tone matters greatly during disagreement. And there's a disagreement tendency is everybody's going to raise their voice to be heard. Everybody's talking, nobody's listening as such. It's going to be a lot. So let's be mindful, because this is one negative way people tend to handle conflict or couples. Silent treatment, another popular one. The ones that are having conflict and they're giving themselves this silent treatment. Some just because there is still love, of course, there, you will now write notes. Some might even manage to text. You write note, your food is on the table, and just put it somewhere. If they like, they should see it. If they like, they should not see it. So some people start talking, they stop talking completely when they're upset. While temporary space may help calm emotions, prolonged silence creates emotional distance and resentment. So I would think twice about this. Some people, they will even talk, but you still know that it's not normal. It's not the normal way you make conversation and all of that. So you can still, in a way, put that as a AAA, I see you, good evening, as a silent treatment of some sort. So healthy couples communicate instead of emotionally withdrawing. Some people, it's just their go-to. Before you know, they're just quiet, locked up in their world, and this, is silent treatment to your spouse. Another one is bringing up the past. There's a conflict right now going on at the moment, heavy, strong, whatever it is, one sec. And you find out that this is the thing This conflict we're trying to iron out now. I hope my voice will not crack today. But then you start bringing past conflicts that you've talked about, you've resolved, and even just because there's a conflict on ground now. So one common mistake is constantly reopening old wounds. That is a negative way of handling conflict. When couples continually remind each other of past failures, healing becomes difficult, and we need to be mindful. What are we talking about? This is not the time to be bringing 1948 conflict. No, let's talk about 2026 conflict. So, resolved issues should not become permanent weapons during every disagreement. You've tackled that conflict in the past, you've sorted it, it's gone. So, why bring it up today when we're trying to face today's conflict? That means just want things to escalate and just blow out of proportion for no reason. So let's be mindful, because this is another negative way couples tend to handle conflict. Again, another one is involving too many people. Look, I am an advocate of this. However, sometimes we're not all mature to the same level. Okay, some people have gone ahead of you in marriage. Even I always say for 27 years plus, going on February, March, April, May, 27 years and 3 months and counting. I don't know it all. No matter, I know God has given me this passion, this burden for marriage and all of that. I overthink, I think deeply. I'm like, God, there has to be a way for this thing. I always believe there's a way. But sometimes you get stuck, no matter how long you've been in marriage, and you will need the support of other people from time to time. However, involving too many people can bring about even conflict, because your intentions might be good. However, is it the same intention with your spouse? Because these things tend to, expand things, and you find out that when too many people are aware of your issues, you're feeling. Anyway, let me just go with my note before I jump. Not every marital issue should be discussed with friends or family. Okay, even if you must, there are other people. There's a marriage counselor you can go to and talk all of these things with, because sometimes some people prefer to go far away and they can talk about everything and anything, because this person is not going to be around them. They will not feel shame, they will not feel whatever it is they're running away from. So not every marital issue should be discussed with friends or family. Sometimes involving outsiders creates embarrassment, it creates bias in a way, and further conflict. You're trying to resolve a conflict as a result of your actions, another conflict has opened up. So wise couples protect the privacy and dignity of their marriage. However, there's a thin line, which is that pride I mentioned, because both of you might just be stuck, and the only way out is to involve somebody else. And that's where wisdom comes in, whoever it is you're going to get involved. And it's not like you just go on BBC, CNN News and do your broadcast on there. No, that's not what I'm saying. So let's be wise when engaging third parties or other people. Okay, let's look at principles of healthy conflict resolution, because there are principles to every aspect of marriage. Whether we talk about them or we don't talk about them, they're there. Whether we go addressing them, looking for those things, they're always there. But sometimes when there's conflict, we're angry, we're not thinking straight. Even for solutions, sometimes we're not even thinking, because we just want to fight because we're right or because of whatever, so we need to be mindful. So let us discuss healthy ways to resolve conflict. I've mentioned the negative one. Let's talk about the positive as well. Healthy ways to resolve conflict. There's so many again, but I mentioned some. So address issues early. This one, because we don't, that's when a small conflict can turn to be a very massive one. If you don't address issues early before they start, what's the word now? Expanding, and then it attaches other stuff. It's expanding, just because you left things untouched or unresolved. You have to early, so what's it called? Address issues early. so that it doesn't become a bigger problem. Small problems become bigger when ignored. Healthy couples discuss issues before bitterness grows. Avoiding conflict does not solve it. You avoid, you're still in that marriage, you're still going to see each other, you're still going to have to talk at some point, whether you like it or not. Hi, Shan, good evening. Another healthy way is learn to listen. And this listen, let me underline it. Learning to listen. Let's underline it. Listening is one of the greatest skills in marriage. And if you don't have that skill called listening, please go and buy it if you must. Go and buy, because that way you know it costs you something, and then you not throw it away anyhow, or you not use it anyhow. Listening is one of the greatest skills in marriage. Hey, two now are becoming one. How would they become one if they don't listen to one another? Many people listen to reply. Thank you so much. A13, good evening. They listen to reply instead of listening to understand. Look, I don't know how else. Sometimes words fail me. It does. Because I'll be thinking, my mindset is the fact that God created marriage, and He said everything God created is good. So what is that problem? What is that issue? And sometimes it takes two, guys. It takes two to tango. One person cannot do marriage alone. As long as you're married to somebody, it takes the two of you. And I know sometimes one is ready to make a resolution, the other is not. Sometimes both of you are, but pride and ego will not let somebody start it. There's so many dynamics to these things. But you just find out that in it all we're suffering. Things are not good. So, people listen to reply instead of listening to understand. Good listening means paying attention to one another, not to the assumption in your mind. Allowing your spouse to speak. They're human. They are an entity. They are uniquely made. They are somebody. Allowing your spouse to speak. Not every time you shut them down, there will be problems. Is this how God shut us down when we go to Him and complain and talk about this and ask for that? No. So allow your spouse to speak. And trying to understand their emotions. Look, women are emotional. It's a known thing. We're not, but men are as well. And if you don't express it, you're leaving your wife to be guessing, what is this emotion and what is this? Especially when there's conflict, you're keeping silent, and you think your spouse will think you're happy, or what would you think they will start thinking? Is this their own happy? Is this their own sad? Is this their own leave me alone? Is this their own give me space? What is it? Let's try to understand each other's emotion, even when there is conflict. Because when somebody is saying something that is hurting them, you should know that they're feeling this hurt and they're not making it up. So if you really care about them, you want to understand the hurt they're feeling. Because you're not feeling that hurt, don't dismiss it. It doesn't justify the fact that they are still feeling whatever they're feeling. Sometimes people simply want to feel heard and understood, and it's just as simple as that. And you find out that would quench that conflict straight away. Another one is control emotions. Conflict becomes dangerous when emotions control behavior. Hey, things will get destroyed. During heated moments, pause, calm down, and avoid reacting impulsively, because you will say things you really do not want to say. And once those words come out, oh my goodness, damage is done already. Not every emotion should become an action. That's why I say pause, calm down, and avoid reacting impulsively. It does matter. And these things has to be learned. You may not have it, but you can always learn them. Emotional maturity is essential for healthy conflict resolution. And this is how couples mature, because you will deal with this conflict yesterday, Another one will come today, another one is still coming tomorrow. And the more you tackle this together in a healthy way, you find out that you're maturing, you're growing, you're getting wisdom, you're getting understanding of your spouse some more. Again, focus on the problem, not the person. Because even I am guilty as charged. What is the problem? Attack the issue, not your spouse. Of course, you're addressing your spouse, especially when the issue is, from them. And it could even be from you, it doesn't even matter. But are you attacking that problem? Or you're attacking them as a person? They're two different things. So attack the issue, not your spouse. Instead of saying you are selfish, you can say, I feel hurt when my concerns are ignored. Concerns are ignored. That is the problem. So let them know, not that it's them as such, it's what they are doing. So they need to come to that understanding. And that's why I say you have to listen to what your spouse is saying. Because sometimes, I'll say I'm the best wife, I'm the best this. Let your spouse say you're the best wife, you're the best husband. Because you're not married to yourself. It's the person you're married to that has the right to say this is how they're feeling in that marriage as a result of your action or your non-action. So don't just say, what are you talking about? Oh no, no, you cannot dismiss their feelings because there's a way you're rubbing off on them and they have every right to say. There's a way they are rubbing off on you and you also have every right to say. Do not dismiss each other because both of you are valid where this marriage is concerned. I feel hurt when my concerns are ignored. And for them to come and say this, it's not the first time, it's not the second time, and now it's like they're feeling really hurt because they're always, their concerns are always ignored. You think about it, if it was you that your concerns are being ignored, of course you're going to feel hurt. So let's always help one another in our relationship. It's difficult, I know, but patience, understanding, it goes a long way. This reduces defensiveness and encourages discussion rather than concerns being ignored. Again, be willing to compromise. Look, if you don't know how to compromise in life, please rethink marriage before you go into it. I'll pause. Let me drink water so that you can digest that. Be willing to compromise. Quality Street, I'll see you long time. Marriage is not a competition. Hey, people. Marriage is not a competition. It is not about who wins an argument. Good evening. I hope you're good. Thanks for joining us today, Quality Street. It is not about who wins an argument. Because sometimes you're not seeing each other as one. Healthy marriages require compromise, flexibility, and of course, teamwork. Yeah, it's been a while. Sometimes peace is more valuable than proving a point. Because you prove this point, you find out that everybody's going their separate ways. You proving this point, divorce has happened. So be willing to compromise. And again, I'm coming back to this because I pray that God will truly help us in our marriages. The importance of forgiveness. My goodness, you will annoy one another. You will hurt one another intentionally, unintentionally, by mistake, by error, by omission, by whatever. But it is very important to have this forgiveness in us. Forgiveness is essential in every marriage because nobody is perfect. We're working towards this perfection. So leave room for error, leave room for mistakes and all of that. Every spouse will eventually make mistakes. Every spouse will eventually, whether the husband, whether the wife. At some point, every spouse will eventually say the wrong thing or disappoint the other. So without forgiveness, resentment keeps growing and growing and growing. and then you've not forgiven yesterday, the people offended you again today, and tomorrow ozone is coming to join in. Say, but you one doesn't have the spirit of forgiveness, one can't practice it. Yeah, but then does that mean you cannot learn it? Does that mean if you know the right way, you can't practice it? That's why I said God created that marriage and it is good. And if we're not enjoying the goodness of marriage, we need to check ourselves. That means we're not doing something right. And that's why it is. For example, I don't know how to forgive. Forgive anyone, whether husband or whether wife or whether family. You don't have that spirit of forgiveness in you. Does not mean you cannot learn it. Trust me. We can learn anything and everything. But in your learning, make sure it's the positive things of life. There's nothing we cannot change if our mindset is right. So we can adopt the spirit of, yeah, definitely. And God is the orchestrator of marriage, like I said. He gives grace. He gives us the strength too. Because sometimes people have hurt each other in a marriage relationship so bad. In fact, you and I know some people have died in their marriage as a result of the action of their spouse. Some people have been hurt, as in physically hurt so bad, and they will still have to find it in them to forgive this person. Sometimes they may not come back together, but forgiveness, you just have to do this for your own sake, even if you've gone your separate ways. Otherwise, you're carrying that bitterness in your heart and you want to live life in bitterness. It's just going to be bitter, really. How long do you want to live in bitterness? Forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened. That's not what I'm talking about. It means choosing not to hold bitterness permanently. Because at some point you would have to let it go. No matter how many years, 100 years, well, you have to let it go at some point. Beatrice, I see you. Tammy, good evening. If you read Colossians 3:13, it says, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. You know, Bible talks about forgiveness in so many parts of it. In the Bible, you can go and do the research yourself. Why would the Bible talk about forgiveness if there's nothing so called? If it doesn't need us to forgive? Jesus answered, says 70 times 7 in a day. Forgive somebody. And I'm like, how can somebody, one person, offend you 70 times 7? That's 490 times in one day. When even the devil will be tired. Imagine one person, 490 times, one person, and the number of people in the whole world. And every single day, you want to be annoying them 490. Haba now. Haba. Even the devil, in fact, there won't be any more devil because he would have used himself by the first 1 million people, if at all. Do not choose to hold bitterness forever or permanently. It's not a good way to live. You're going to affect your health at some point, trust me. Bearing with one another and forgiving one another. Bearing, meaning they would hurt you. What is haba? Haba is why, or, you know, it's an exclamation in my language. I didn't even realize. Did I say that? I said it, I'm sure. It means like, come on. Let's get a grip of this. Healthy marriages are filled with grace and mercy. 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 We offend God and we go to God and we expect God to forgive us. And the same forgiveness He wants us to extend to other people, let alone our spouses. Sometimes it's hard to forget what has been done, but you will have to forgive them. And with time, they say time brings healing. Let's look at the power of apology. We're looking at conflict resolution in marriage. The power of apology. It's a very powerful thing. A sincere apology can heal many wounds. A proper apology includes acknowledging wrongdoing. Like I said, we're not all perfect. So when your spouse is addressing something, don't ignore it. Don't be defensive because they see you for who you are. Okay, just joking a bit. Of course, yeah. Thank you. A sincere apology can heal many wounds. A proper apology includes acknowledging your wrongdoing, like I said, taking responsibilities. Social media advice and solution for marriage days, just leave. I know, is that the solution really? If everybody keeps doing that, I mean, your path will come across somebody you left 10 years ago, and you find out that this is the person you have to marry again. Everybody would have gone around everybody. That's not God's plan for marriage, trust me. No. I'm talking about the power of apology, expressing regret, and committing to improvement. Because this is the only way we can make this marriage comfortable for one another. You have to be committed to improving on your conflict resolution skills. Weak apologies blame others. Because some will say, I'm sorry, but it's your fault, you did this. Everybody owns part of that. I always say to my client, they're carrying 100% guilt. I said, no. Who is involved in this guilt 100 that you're carrying? They say, oh, this person, that person. Okay, let's go 100% guilt, which you're feeling right now. Let's begin to distribute. Let's say 5 people. Let's distribute. Everybody will carry part of this guilt. I say, how much are you left with? About 20%. Do you not feel lighter? Because all of these people involved now, everybody should carry some sort of guilt as well. So people are living their marriages under the pretext of self-worth. Well, people will always bring excuses to doing whatever they want to do. You can lie to the world, but you cannot lie to yourself, and you can't lie to God. You can even lie to your spouse, but you can't lie to God. If you want to live, be bold. Own it. Own it and go. Don't hide behind something that is not. Well, anyway, maybe that's another discussion for another time. Weak apologies blame others. Strong apologies accept responsibility. Sometimes a simple I was wrong and I am sorry can restore peace quickly. Yes, and it's harming a lot of people much later. Yeah, some people I know they've divorced as a result of not wanting to resolve conflict, and maybe a few years down the line they find out that maybe they have or they come through to an encounter or an experience, and it just bring memories, triggers for them, and they start regretting, ending that marriage, and they decide to look for this so-called spouse, and by the time they get there, they find out this person has moved on. So sometimes if you're not willing to risk that, why not just be calm? I'm like, be in there until you find a solution. And mind you, I'm not talking about domestic violence or domestic abuse now. That's not what I'm talking about. But there are other issues that you and I know brings conflict in a marriage. I've mentioned a few bits. Simply just say, you know what, I was wrong and I am sorry. This can restore peace quickly. Good evening, Baritone. I hope you're good. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's like you're coming here to mark register once a month. No, I'm just joking, actually. Well, it's good to see you. I hope you're going to stay for the discussion bit. Emotional intelligence in marriage. Not all couples have it. Sometimes the husband may have it, the wife may not. Sometimes the wife may have it, the husband may not. Kindly help by increasing your volume. Please, host. You again? Leslie, can you hear me right? Glory be, good evening. Eno said the same thing. I asked her to leave and come back. Elder Adebenga said he can hear me loud and clear. So maybe it's your gadgets, you people that can't hear me loud enough. Because if I start screaming now, my neighbors will come and be wondering what's wrong. So maybe Baritone, if you leave and close the app altogether and come back, can still hear you loud. Adebenga, oh, you see? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. At least Baritone, I'm sure you can see what people are saying. Leslie, can you hear me as well? So maybe is your volume very low. Increase your volume, maybe. Or, like I suggested to Eno, you might have to log out. Not just log out. No, it's not my setting. Mr. Baritone, are you hearing me? If you can hear me, calm down. You might have to come out from TikTok, close the app altogether, wait a few seconds, try to log back in. I told Eno the same thing. Others can hear me clearly, so I haven't done anything different. This is my normal setup that I have here. So if you're having difficulties listening or hearing me rather, pump up your tone, Mr. Baritone. Quality Street is being cheeky right now, but anyways, I'll carry on because I want to finish so that we can come into the box. So I'm talking about emotional intelligence in marriage. Emotional intelligence means understanding and managing emotions wisely. Emotionally intelligent couples will communicate calmly, no matter the heated argument going on or just about to go on or go down. Communicate calmly, handle stress better. You know, we can always do better than what we did yesterday. That's what we're learning. And avoid unnecessary escalation, because some people, they is like this conflict will not end. As they're trying to bring solution, they are escalating it, and you just seem like they don't like peace. They don't like peace. But let's be mindful. I know sometimes husband may be more intelligent than emotionally intelligent than the wife, and the wife may be more than the husband. So it doesn't really matter as long as you know what you're doing and you're rubbing off on each other more positively rather than negatively. So important questions couples should ask themselves include, why am I reacting this way? Ask yourself that. Why are you reacting this way? Am I listening properly? We talked about this. Listening to respond or listening to understand. Am I speaking with respect? Am I speaking with, because some people, when there's a conflict, there's this heated argument, names start flying in the room. Calling names, some would even curse and all of that. No, this is very disrespectful. Is my goal to solve the issue or win the argument? You need to ask yourself this. What is your goal really in terms of this conflict resolution? Do you really want to score a point? Do you really just want to win? Or you want to solve that issue that is bringing problem? Baritone, I don't know if you're still there. If you go out, like I said, and try to come back, maybe it might be better. Because, like I said, I can't shout more than this. This is my normal setting, and I've gone to the highest volume as well. So let's look at this. I'm going to say this because I believe strongly that God created the marriage institution, the role of prayer and spirituality. Because this is the only way the only way truly, because God created marriage. He knows the solution to every conflict. So for believing couples, I'm going to say this. Can I interpret this subject, emotional intelligence, as simple common sense in marriage? You can put it however you deem fit, as long as you understand. Because another person can come and say it means this to them. So, Quality Street, if you're in a marriage relationship, this might be the easiest way to say to your spouse. You know, common sense. Both of you, do you have common sense? Like I said, it could be one-sided, and then you start looking at the other person as immature, and you handle them as such. But is that going to bring about resolution? So, Miss Judy, I see you. Good evening. So let's be mindful. Each being praised to, I see you. Good evening. So let's look at the role of prayer and spirituality. For believing couples, prayer is a powerful tool in conflict resolution. For me, I shared here when my marriage was 13 years, how it was rocky as can be, and it was just the help of the Holy Spirit. And I had to yield, I had to listen, and I had to obey, even though it was the hardest thing I've had to do. Prayer softens heart. Sometimes you may have to pray for your spouse. You may have to pray for yourself. You may have to pray for both of you. You may have to pray together. And if the situation is not bringing about you praying together, do not rule out praying altogether. Pray as the person that you are. Pray for you, pray for your marriage. Prayer reduces pride because you know whose presence you're standing in. It's God. So where is this pride coming? And the same way, let this pride go and approach your spouse. Debbie, good evening. How are you, my dear? I hope you're good. Prayer promotes humility. The fact that you can go on your knees and pray for your spouse, it means at least you're humble enough. And it's only a matter of time. God will bring about a solution to that conflict. Thank you so much, Debbie, for the heart me. Thank you. Please help me tap, tap, tap. Let's take this likes up. Let's invite other people with that. That alone will invite other people, trust me. And prayer promotes humility, like I said, and invites peace into the relationship. Sometimes it's not automatic. Sometimes you may have to pray for weeks and weeks, and you find out that eventually the other person's heart softens and you're able to have a meaningful conversation. Common sense in most marriages can resolve lots of issues. Clash of personality, of course. Common sense. For one of my lecturers said, common sense. You have to split that word. Don't use it in a sentence, as in don't use it together. Because some have common and some have sense, as in whatever that means. When couples pray together, they are reminded that marriage is not just physical or emotional, but also spiritual. Remember, you took that vow before God, and every other person, they're secondary. So it depends on how your faith is, how your values are in terms of your faith. Because when you know that you cannot approach God's throne, you have to forgive. Otherwise, your prayers will not be answered. You quickly find ways to make resolution. I missed your class. So what class is that? Quality Street. I hope you're going to stay because I really want to hear from you. Yeah? Let's look at practical habits that strengthens marriage. Healthy conflict resolution does not only happen during arguments. It is built through daily habits. So there's some things we have to do on a daily basis in order to, at least be okay in our marriage when it comes to conflict happening every now and then. Spend quality time together. The fact that you're married now does not mean you should stop dating one another or stop going out on dates. Let me put it that way, second way. Emotional connection reduces tension because you're spending that time together to know each other. Sometimes it's in that process you find out that something that could have escalated big, because you spend quality time together, you know that this person, oh no, that's not their intention, that's not what they mean. And you find out that, instead of you escalating that conflict, it just dies automatically because you're emotionally connected, and this in a way has reduced the tension that could have built up. So another one is show appreciation. People respond better when they feel valued. Simple words like thank you, I appreciate you, and I love you. Sometimes we take this I love you for granted. You feel, they know you love them, Even me, I'm guilty as charged, so don't think I'm here to talk down on anyone. No. It's over familiarity sometimes, that makes this happen. All of this, thank you, appreciate you, and I love you, can strengthen emotional intimacy. When was the last time I told my husband I love you? When was the last time he told me I love you? I'm asking you as I'm asking myself right now. So these are things that can help us really when we show that appreciation. Again, communicate regularly, whether by phone, by text. I've said to people, email each other. If the email will pop up and they will respond, email them. As long as you're communicating, do not wait until problems explode before talking, because a lot of people are guilty of this. Healthy communication prevents misunderstandings because you have that healthy communication. So when they say something and you mishear, you will go back and, okay, now I understand. This is what they try to communicate. And even if you don't understand, ask clarifying questions rather than start a conflict. So healthy communication prevents misunderstanding. Again, maintain respect. It goes along with the fact that you're angry, I'm angry, does not mean we should disrespect one another and just throw caution to the wind and say anything anyhow and all of that. Words will be exchanged. What kind of words would they be? Respect should remain even during disagreement. Never insult, belittle, or humiliate your spouse. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And it's not going to, quench the fire burning in them. It's not going to resolve anything. You belittling them, you insulting them, humiliating them. and you want that conflict resolution to happen. It's not going to happen, well, at least not straight away. When professional help is needed, when is professional help needed? Remember, I talked about inviting a third party. Sometimes you have to go through couples therapy, marriage counseling. Some conflicts become too difficult to resolve alone. So there is wisdom in seeking help through counseling, mentoring, or spiritual guidance. But guys, all of this, if you're not connected with the Holy Spirit, you might just go to the wrong counselor, wrong mentor, or wrong spiritual leader, because these things will happen. I've heard of cases where they go to a spiritual leader, and in fact, that even broke this marriage completely. It is advisable to ask your partner for space when you're overwhelmed, of course. And we need to respect each other's boundaries, even though when in that marriage, it's just for peace to reign. If I say, give me time to cool off, and you say, now, if you're not careful, you might exchange blows, punches. So if they're asking for space, give it to them. At least you owe them that much. And this is the journey towards conflict resolution, rather than just scatter everything at once. Sometimes I always say, pause. Sometimes you may have to walk away and then come back with a clearer and calmer mind, and then address situations. So seeking help is not weakness, guys. It is not weakness. I do couples therapy as well. And sometimes they get stuck. Couples get stuck. I've gotten stuck before, and therapy. Or we'll find a way to sit down and resolve these things. Sometimes we'll take time off, so to say, because everybody, you go and think, and then we'll address it again. Rather than sit down and just be belittling one another, disrespecting one another, and all of that. Because sometimes, things will not end in just one day. So be graceful and gracious to one another. Seeking help is not a weakness. It is a sign of maturity and commitment to that marriage, because you know something is wrong and you both do not have the solution, and now you're seeking help to find a solution. So be mindful of that. Don't belittle each other because of that. I'm rounding up now, and I'm concluding by this, or with this rather. Conflict is unavoidable in marriage. So do not beat each other up, not in literal meaning anyways, about it, because it will come. As you're resolving one conflict, another is just knocking around the door. So conflict is unavoidable in marriage, but destruction is not unavoidable. Rather than you let that conflict destroy that marriage, why don't you in that marriage destroy that conflict? How about that? I think that sounds better. Healthy marriages are not made up of perfect people. They are made up of imperfect people who continually choose love over pride. They choose patience over anger. They choose forgiveness over bitterness, and understanding over assumption. Conflict handled badly destroys relationships. You and I should know this. So how are we handling conflict? Conflict handled wisely strengthens relationship. Therefore, we need wisdom. In all you're getting, get understanding, get wisdom. A successful marriage requires communication, healthy communication, effective communication. It requires humility. You have to bring yourself down. You might say, okay, I don't take nonsense from everybody. But when it comes to your spouse, if you're not humble, I don't know how you will live the rest of your life together. Forgiveness. Hey, people, it matters a lot. Emotional maturity is needed for a successful marriage. Patience. So many other things are needed. Commitment from both partners. Otherwise, what are you building? Or what are you building on? So let us remember that marriage is a partnership, not a battlefield. Marriage is a partnership, not a battlefield. I'm rounding up, guys. When couples learn to resolve conflict in a healthy ways, they create homes filled with peace, trust, emotional safety, and lasting love. Increasing lasting love. And that's the end of my talk. I know I've taken a bit of time. However, we're going to look, unfortunately, many today create superficial marriage. They created, not God. So if people can create superficial marriage, let them create a natural one, which is possible as well. So it's what you build, it's the seed you sow, that's what you're going to reap from. So the two questions we're going to tackle today is, why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively? And then second is, can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? How? Why do couples struggle to listen to each other effectively? Can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? How? So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you.
Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow.
So that is my talk for today. And like I always say, I cannot cover all aspects. First, so many things are just coming to my mind. I'm like, you know what? That's enough, because that's quite a long one today as well. Guys, please, let's send an invite. Let's talk some more about this. Let's help one another build our community, our marriage community, as much as possible. Because sometimes, like I said, we get stuck. Sorry, I'm just trying to refill my bottle so it's easier to drink from. We get stuck, and talks like this we can't shy away from, because conflicts are happening every day, whether as a result of mistake, error, life itself, will bring certain things that it will just bring about a conflict. And we really need to talk about things in a very positive way, such that it doesn't affect our marriage and then everybody decide to go separate ways. That is not God's plan. We can always find solution. Said where there's a will, there's always a way. So this is one of the ways. Let us sit and talk about these things, such that if tomorrow comes and we're faced with conflict, at least you remember certain things you've openly talked about, and find solutions from here and there. And sometimes you feel you're just at a dead end, then it's time to pray to God, the author of the marriage institution. Ask him, tell him you're stuck, let him come and help. So why do couples struggle to listen to each other effectively? Can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? How? Sorry, I'm in the kitchen tonight. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, all right. Thank you, Leslie. Please send an invite. Let us rub minds together. Let's talk about these things, because it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's start talking about it, such that when we're facing conflict, we'll know how to find solutions. Let me see. Okay. Leslie, okay, you're in the kitchen. What are you cooking for us tonight? What is the family having for dinner? Thank you, A13. Thank you so much. Gracias. Okay. Yeah, conflict resolution in marriage is what we're looking at today. See, you're in the kitchen and you made it to the first box again today. Good evening, Leslie. It's just you and I in here for now. You can bring your device to the kitchen, or is it not allowed?
I'm in the kitchen. I'm hearing it loud. I'm have my Bluetooth on, but it's just that I have to keep going back because I've left my phone somewhere else. I have other devices. My children laptop, everything is on, so I can't bring it to the kitchen.
Okay.
So that's why.
As long as you're hearing us.
I can hear both the fine. I didn't even plan to be the first, but let me just get my own out of the way. It's better.
It's better for you, because everybody will say, "Oh, you have said everything I want to say and all." So yeah.
Because because I'm still in between. We started late tonight because we worked quite late today, so it's affecting our kitchen time today. But we're happy because at least midterm will soon start. So
I know.
one of those days we have to just
one more day. I can't wait.
Well, one of my sons is off today, so I mean he's off for tomorrow, so that kind of makes it a little bit easier.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we took the gamble that we will finish our work late and then I will start in the kitchen. If not, I would have finished by now.
It happens. It happens. At least you're
It
still.
happens. Like I said, it's not every day we do these things. That's why I say that it's not every day you have a fight. It's not every day that people behave like it's every day you're suffering. It's not every day that
Of
it
course.
is. Some days are very good. Some days are very tough. That's how you just. It's one of that's the life we're living in this world. It's not.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I just heard news recently of someone very close to me, and I did not know he was going through a serious medical problem last year.
Wow.
And it just kind of humbles you because there are people who are very well to do, but he's like, hey, he was like, if I have to choose between money and health, I would choose health because
Yeah.
it was in fact, he said he was out for almost 3.5 months. He was dealing with a very serious medical issue that he just did not expect. And it's funny that last year is the first year I didn't face any court problem, financial problem like that. So when my own was finishing, his own was starting.
I
This
mean,
life is
can we ever have a break in this life, really?
this life is something else. So the second somebody feels like this is paradise, I just feel sorry for them. Like, just thank God for peace and grace, but don't
I'm
live this
telling
life
you,
like
because
it's not paradise. It is not paradise.
it's like it's never.
That's why people are
ending.
frustrated. That's why people are frustrated because they're trying to make this place a paradise, and it is not. It's like anyway, let me not go there because I know it's preparation for something better. That's the best I can put it. It's preparation for something far better than what we have now. But people are trying to make this one everything, and that's the frustration.
Yeah.
But anyway, we leave that. Very wonderful subject you were teaching. I didn't have much comments, but I was enjoying it. So I was actually happy I was able to listen while I was in the kitchen.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear.
uh,
Let me find Elder Adegbenga. He's run off. He was the
eh?
first person. I think
I was actually happy he was here today.
he was the first person, though. Maybe it's
What happened now?
his past his bedtime.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like that now. Okay.
So yeah, we're looking at the topic. I mean, we can still expand it some more. Even though it was a long one, I don't think I've covered all aspects, to be honest with you. But I mean, for our discussion's sake, the first question is, why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively?
You know, even me today, I had conflict. um, today,
So why have
you
you not
can.
listened effectively? Tell us.
No. I mean, I'm glad. That's why I'm talking to you now because we are talking. My people there. Let me tell you something. One of the blessings of being married is that you guys, for me, what I've learned to, each married person, if they are truthful, you begin to have unique ways of doing things that you would not normally do with anybody else, like nobody else, and that's worth keeping your marriage for. That is, if you get to that point, you should just keep your marriage. Don't be looking for somebody else because that blessing of just doing something unique between the two of you that no one else can ever understand. Hey, you get there, enjoy it, and keep it there. That's the reason why you should resolve conflict so you can get back to doing that weird thing that the two of you understand between yourselves. But yes, yes, listening. I think there's two levels of this listening thing. There's listening to that person, but there's also listening beyond what they are saying, getting to the root of where they're coming from. And that's the non-verbal cues, understanding much more than what they are saying. Because that response is the game changer. The way you respond to what your spouse is saying is a deal breaker. Whether it's a deal breaker, whether you're going to have more conflict or you begin to have a solution, is your response. And that's why listening is so paramount. is such a paramount thing because it will help you to be able to respond appropriately. Now, again, these things take time. It's not 100. It's not something you do in one day. I wouldn't even say you do it in 1 year, but if you stick with it, yeah,
It's a
if you
lifelong
stick with
journey,
it,
isn't it?
yeah, you get better at it. So, um, today we had a bit of this thing. It was more to do with timing and everything, and then we went out together. So, and you know when you're stuck in the same place, you, you can't do silent treatment. You got to find with the talk.
Bunny day there, I think.
You got to find a way to talk, and you get to a point where okay, understand where you're coming from. That's how you saw it. That's not how I perceived it, but I know that this is what mattered to you, and I think that response was a game changer for us. That this, in saying that this is what mattered to you, and I get it, began that resolution. And before you know, everybody's laughing, chilling. You know, you're not in the same space, but you're not enjoying each other's company again. But I think we've been married long enough to have that wealth of that foundation of on reaching to that point where it's not taking a whole day. Those days, I think the last time I had those 3 day bender of not talking is probably now, maybe before COVID. Maybe, yeah. I don't think we've had that since COVID. I don't think we've had those kind of level of a kind of disagreement. So, and I think funny enough, in COVID we had a marriage prep again, which really helped us during COVID time a lot. In fact, I think COVID period of time, I think we were at our closest, and we still talk about it till today. During that time,
That's very good to hear because I know of a lot of people, they're seeing each other
oh
every day
yes,
and it became a big problem.
no, it was the opposite for us. So, that was it was COVID that now cemented us to actually start praying. To my wife wanted to start working from home and doing all those things. It was that COVID period that we got to a place where we actually enjoy each other's company, and started to plan and prepare how our work will change. It was during that COVID period that we realized that we actually enjoy each other's company like that.
That's good.
You know, and yeah, we do give each other space. We do give each other space. I have my own friends and company. She has her own friends and company. But ultimately, that was what we discovered. It was during that COVID period. So, like I said, I think you have to learn to talk to each other.
Yeah.
As you rightfully said, it's not listening to react or to give commentary. Is listen to understand. That's what I was saying, that there's two levels to that listening. There's the active listening part, but there's even the listening going beyond what they are saying to get into their heart. Listening to their heart. That's another level that a lot of people don't get to. And you can be married for a long time, you still might not reach you. If you're not intentional about it, that's the key I want to say. You have to be intentional about really understanding your spouse, really understanding what motivates them, what is really going on in their heart, you know. And there's different points in time where it matters, but when they are communicating, especially when something is difficult or something they're trying to, you need to listen to them.
Yeah.
Maybe something concerning their parents, or if it's finances. Again, finances, I've said that finances is a behavioral issue. The issue of finances, a lot of times, is not because it's just money, because some people have a lot of money and they still fight. It's an issue of control. It's a behavioral issue. They have not come to the place, they haven't first of all asked themselves, why do I handle money in a particular way? They don't ask themselves those questions. They have not asked themselves questions. They have not gone to people who will challenge them to understand how they handle money. You know, because some people use money to control, some people use money to manipulate. Some people are using money in their marriage as a weapon.
Yeah.
It is not money is not helping that marriage. It's actually a weapon. They weaponize it, you know. And some people, they are very good with money, and they end up using it to control their spouse. You know, they feel this is, and they say that's an issue of a behavior. That's something they learn from somewhere, but they never identify with it. They probably saw it, and they never questioned it, or they didn't challenge it, or they eventually accepted that, oh, this is a form of how to get control in my marriage because this is what I saw. And they never actually saw it as wrong. There was something I saw recently where the man was telling the wife, oh, this is how we do it now at home, and this must be right. And then he went to talk to his friend, and his friend told him, who told you that your parents are the only people that know how to have, that their marriage is a good marriage? That in his family, they didn't do that. And then he was going to do it. He was going to start telling the friend, like, that's how they do it. And the friend now told him, I'm not your wife.
Somebody has to say
and
that.
and he correct, and he kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not, and he was like, okay, maybe I need to examine this internal belief system that I have adopted in my marriage to think that this is the only way I can control my spouse. There's this, I think you might have heard it, it's gone viral about somebody who was saying that he's the king of malice in his marriage. I was just laughing when he was saying that. And it's obviously that he's Nigeria, where he thinks, well, thankfully, even Nigerians came for him there. But he thought because I don't put hand on my wife, keeping malice is the only way I can deal with the problem. And he didn't understand that that's emotional abuse. It's not malice keeping, and he was doing it to the point where he would address the children in front of the mother and when she would be talking to him, he would do like she didn't exist. I'm thinking, bro, that is not a strength. That's a weakness. That's a problem. And you are teaching your children a horrible way to treat their spouse. Simply because in his mind, and in fact, he said it publicly, that, oh, I don't put hands on her. So that's justifiable. And I'm thinking, it's just as bad because it's a psychological abuse.
Yeah.
Because this is long after they've left, they are going around thinking, what or why am I like this? What you're making them just have that thinking for days, sometimes weeks on end. And even if you do resolve that situation, that pattern of behavior, they're going to be thinking, when next are you going to do that thing again?
That's true.
So these are the problems that some people just, and again, when you're ignorant about a lot of things, you think that is the best way. And again, this is part of why when I say people don't do counseling, don't go and do their homework, they start shouting about things that are just wrong. They are just not helpful. Silent treatment, malice keeping is emotional. It's emotional and psychological. In fact, I borderline say it's psychological warfare. You just gone into psychological level of just controlling that person, thinking that, oh, I'm not putting hands, but you're hurting them internally.
Yeah.
So conflict resolution, I think, is because when, first of all, people must know there's a conflict and how best to address it. Going quiet, silent is not going to help you. Avoiding it is not going to help you. Learning to address it and learning to find ways to address this problem, that's your destiny. And you have to have rules of engagement. And I love what you said. Never insult each other. When you're dealing with conflict, do not be belittling or insulting. Deal with the issue at hand. This is something that's a problem. I'd like this to be resolved. Keep it to the problem. Don't bring personal each other the way you.
Some couple, when the argument gets so heated, they will now go as far as saying, is that how your mother talks to your father? Or, is that how your father? Oh my God.
Or when you are correcting someone, that's the time they want to correct you. Like, why didn't you correct before? You should have done it, so
why now?
Deal with the issue at hand.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Nice.
Learn to deal with the issue at hand. Do not bring insulting language. Don't call your spouse names. Don't go there. It's not necessary. And it actually doesn't bode well with you, because the way you speak, especially, and I say especially to men, the words you use to your wife, you're either building or destroying. Don't use words that will tear somebody down just so that you can quote verbally beat them up. Don't do it. It is not a strength. You are going to live with this person for a long time. Why do you want to destroy their spirit? How do you want to enjoy their companionship? How do you want to enjoy their companionship? So don't do those kind of things.
Very crucial.
Learn to deal with the issue at hand and engage in the way that you are trying to gain understanding from both sides. You know, it's very, very important. But please don't insult, and also don't make sure you both agree to a certain time. If you can't do it at a certain time, agree to the following day. Don't worry. You can agree to disagree and agree to do it the next day, or set a good time for it and get on with whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
It's very important, yeah. But don't insulting, name calling, all those things. It's not helpful in the marriage. It is not helpful. And if a couple has been doing that, I would advise them to go and get some form of counseling.
Yeah.
Learn to value their spouse. Learn to start learning to build them up. Don't tear each other down with your words. Words matter. I know again is that thinking that, oh, I'm not putting hands on them. You're not putting hands on them, but you're hurting their soul.
Wow.
You're hurting them on the inside. You're hurting their mind. It affects the way they think. So be careful what you're saying to each other.
Very important.
Learn to use your words in a way that it's building up, or you're trying to gain understanding, not to tear each other down. The issue is not to battle each other. You're living in the same home. You don't want your home to be a battleground. You want it to be a haven. The issue is you want your home is the only place you have control over. That's the environment you can control. And you want to have an environment where you are both safe and you both have peace. It works. Trust me, it works. Those of us who have been married for a long time, by the grace of God, it does work. You can have many days of peace in your home. You can be very intentional about that. You can, and it does happen. It's the one environment you can create peace and space for someone to feel safe. I don't know. I hope that helps our people.
Well,
I have to go into the kitchen now before they come and break my head.
okay. Okay, so maybe when you come back, you come and answer the second question then.
I will quickly answer the second question. I will quickly run the second question before I run to the kitchen.
Okay, so can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? How?
Oh, that's a good one. Conflict reveals a problem.
Okay.
I think how do you tackle the problem will decide whether to strengthen or weaken the marriage. I don't think. Let me be careful. You can't build your marriage on conflict, but conflict is revealing that is a problem. And the reason why that, like you rightfully said, we are two imperfect people. We are come from two different backgrounds. We have two different perspectives. So at some point there will be a conflict. We're not seeing things the same way. Where you are seeing blue, I might be seeing purple. And it's for us to align ourselves to come to some sort of agreement that okay, we can see as blue purple and be okay with it. That's the work. So the conflict reveals a problem. It's revealing something that we are stumbling over. How we tackle that will determine whether we're going forward or we're staying stuck. And you do not want to be stuck in your marriage, or you don't want to be there. You don't want to be stuck in your marriage. So it's the couple that needs to do the work to know whether they can resolve that conflict and find a solution that works for both of them.
Okay.
But conflict is not bad in and of itself because it's showing that there's something that the two of you are not coming to agreement on. That's all it is.
All right. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you very much. Everybody have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Relationship Clinic, I'm going to come to you, but Elder Kenneth, I don't know why the thing has been throwing you out, in and out, but at least you're there. Can you speak at the moment? Because I don't know. Elder Kenneth, good evening.
Good evening, all, saying good evening, everyone aboard and those of comment section. How's everybody doing?
We are good. Thank you, sir. I hope you're good as well.
We're surviving, the grace of God.
Grace of God.
Hey, conflict is in everywhere. There is no marriage. They will say that they don't have conflict. Nobody will come out to say there is no conflict in my marriage. That means you are a liar.
Hey,
because
please.
that is how we get strong in it. When the heat gets strong, the marriage gets strong as well.
Mm,
When the conflict come, then after the conflict, there must surely be a resolution so that you know where you need to correct yourself, and where you need to know how to address some situation where you need to zip your mouth at times, because if you don't do that, then there is no way you can grow. And one thing I will say, the more conflict, the more the love gets stronger.
hey, okay.
Yeah, the more conflict, the more the love gets stronger. Because why? It's the conflict that make the love too strong. Because for me, I would say from early days in marriage, there are some things as a young man we don't understand. When the woman is trying to, you want to correct me, I'm the man of the house. You don't know nothing. How can you tell me that? Who are you to tell me? But at times will come, you begin to reason with her that she's trying to help you to man up, because
Mm,
so there are some things we don't see that our wives see. They are trying to make sure that we don't fall into trap. Not until those things happen, then you now know that yes, this is the right person that God has put in your life to help you to stay away out of that conflict. In the sense that there are some things that, but like I will use as like example, the people that in your circles, your wife must see something in there that these people they are not going your way,
mm,
but due to because maybe you know them before you know your wife, you feel, oh no, they are my friend, and this thing keep causing trouble.
mm,
Trouble like before, when there is a football match, I used to go with my friends. Let's go and so that we can watch the match together. But my wife can say you can do this without not going to there, or without not gather with them, and yeah, and I find it is true. I just finished watching the match now in my own,
mm.
without not hanging out with anybody,
But
without not,
good.
yeah, without not
It's
going
how
to
you do it, or yeah, it's how you do it. When you neglect everything you have to do at home and you're going, then it's a
exactly.
problem.
It keep causing problem in the sense that this conflict that we are talking about, maybe he need your attention, or you want him to help. He just want you to be there, and you're not there. It's
Yeah.
like then those are the things that most of the things that is causing conflict in marriage, and in the early stage. But if you don't grow out of it, that is what you see at times. I pity for people that feel that you can just work out for marriage, that nobody will say that they don't have conflict. Stay there, correct yourself, resolve it, and move on. Know each other weak point as well.
Yeah.
Know the time to speak, and know the time not to speak, because it will help you to avoid conflict. But that don't without no saying that the conflict will still come. It will still come. So it's maturity. Please help me to do this. I'm coming. Oh, you're taking time. You are taking time. Let's go. That is for the women. You are taking time. Let's go. But they haven't finished the makeup, and you keep chatting, chatting, chatting. You will chat and never come. Not until they finish that makeup. That's a, that will cause another conflict again. Oh, it's because of you we are getting late. Why is it all the time? These are, I'm telling you the life story, not that not
I
these are
know.
the things. These are
That's
the
why I'm
things
laughing.
that I have experienced. That's why when I saw the topic, I'm just laughing. In my For my first 1 year to 10 years in marriage, these are all the things that I've been through. Likewise, my wife. At times we use it to laugh. That's we use it to laugh because while we have grown over that stage. That
Mm,
is why it's good to listen to each other, Nobody know it all.
Mm-mm.
Nobody know it all. I've seen so many things that I come to conclusion that God did not send that man or that woman into your life. God sent it into the life for a purpose and for a reason. You might think that you don't value it, that person now, but time to come when you begin to reason all the things that he has said to you or has said to you, you will know that of a truth, this person is God sent to you. The conflict that it is trying to create, or the character, all the things that is trying to, is just to make sure you become a good man or you become a good woman. So at times, for me, I like the conflict. Let it come, let it come, let it come, so that
Hey.
so that when it comes, yeah, so
That
that
is maturity talking.
when it come, the maturity and the idea, the wisdom to dwell with them as the weaker vessel gets stronger.
Hey, weaker
So,
vessel. If you
so
say
that
that,
is.
well, you might start a conflict, so.
I hope you are not putting it here, Sha. I'm trying to know if she's listening to what I'm saying. So to me, that is for me. For me, I believe that conflict is for a time, not for forever.
Okay,
And if
so
you
so
can go,
so do you, I know you're still speaking, but I don't want you to miss the second question.
yeah,
Sometimes you just give that big speech and that's the end. So
yeah.
whilst you're talking, I want you to please help answer this as well from your experience of marriage life and all. Can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? And if you think so, how?
Okay, for me, it can strengthen a marriage. I will say yes, positive yes to that.
Oh, okay.
Why I will say a positive yes to that? Conflict is the only thing that bring correction.
Mm,
It bring correction in a certain stage, because why the two of you did not agree on something. Then, but the moment you understand, yes, I'm right, she's right, that means both of you are correct.
thank you, Yami, for reposting. Thank you.
If this one disagree, this one, the other one disagree, that means the conflict will continue.
Mhm.
But when you agree and she agree, that means the conflict has come to an end.
Yeah.
What is causing the conflict is not agreeing on something.
Hmm.
That is what always causes conflict in marriage. If two of you did not agree on something, this will say, "Oh, I said this. We should do it this way. It's your fault." Because you did not agree on something, that is why the conflict come in.
Mm,
But the moment you agree on that thing, you resolve it. And when you resolve it, you move forward again.
yeah.
Not until another thing comes up again. You disagree. I disagree. The two of you have a point too. Not that you don't have a point. The two of you have a point, just that this one is viewing it in another angle.
Mhm.
You are viewing it in another angle. Why not sit down? Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, let's agree so that we do it this way. That's why I say, for me, it's good, because it make every one of us to end our view.
Yeah.
If only you keep concluding on something, that
Mm.
is not marriage. For me, for my own reason of marriage now, if only you continue to conclude to say, because you are the head, I'm the head, I'm the head, I'm the head, forget that the neck is still there.
Maybe
Yeah,
more
and
fun.
forget without the neck there is no head.
Mm. Mm.
So when conflict come, allow the head to talk and allow the neck to talk as well,
I
so
love
that the two of you you come to agreement of something.
yeah.
You see, most of the time, how did our mothers they get it wrong? They get it wrong because they make the women to be silent.
Mm.
They make them to not have say in their own marriage. They are just there. They are just there waiting for the husband to come and lie on them. They are just for years. Most African marriage, you cannot see the women speak. In a meeting, you can't see them speak. They say, no, women don't have anything to say. That mentality, not until you come out from that mentality to know that women have value as well, and women have reason to give their own opinion and to make them share their own view, you will keep having conflict in your marriage. There is no way you're not going to have conflict in your marriage, because women of nowadays, they must talk whether you like it or not. So that is why when I see things, our elder Leslie was saying, a man that say that I can keep my list for. You are very stupid as a man to use that kind of word. I can keep my list. Is it your slave for you to come out in an open gathering to say? I don't accept women to cheat, but when you push somebody to the wall, what do you expect? That is my question. Because for you as a man to resolve it, and how can you resolve it? It's by talking. How can you resolve it? It's by hearing the woman view as well. Then by then, you cannot push somebody to the wall that you don't expect the worst from that person. These are the things that are causing conflict in marriage. You see, until we men start doing the right thing, until we start doing the right thing, there must be conflict. Oh, there must be conflict. Me that I'm saying this in my first 10 years, it was war. It was more than Jordan Barak.
Wow.
But by the help and the understanding of the wisdom of God, the Holy Spirit, I will say me, I have very hot temper. My hand before is very, very quick. But today, all those things are not there anymore, because I now understand. I now understand that I cannot get it right all the time. Likewise, my spouse as well cannot get it right all the time. There's some things you argue about, but at the end, come to conclusion. And don't let conflict, mostly in marriage, to the married ones who can hear and who can listen, don't let it pass the night. That is why the bed is there, so that you can resolve it in that quiet time and in that quiet hour. Let everybody say what they need to say. Then at the end, come to conclusion, and at the end, put it in the hand of God. How can you put it in the hand in prayer? Wherever that we are doing that is not right, Holy Spirit, give us the direction. That is why it's there. Because if you don't invite in into your home and into your marriage, you must get that conflict all the time. The flesh is willing and the spirit is weak.
Well, the spirit is willing, the flesh
I
is
know
weak.
I'm trying to take it or the other way. That is the only way, because if you don't keep doing those things, they answer the Holy Spirit for direction in your marriage. Pray for your spouse as well, that the devil should not use them, because they are the one that know your weak point. When there is conflict, ask God, what are you doing that is not right? Because that is what I go to God in prayer, and I ask God, yes, I love this woman, but what is causing this conflict? And I find out that what I'm doing, that is not right. I don't listen. I don't take correction before. Why? Because I try to use the where I'm coming from, but it don't work that way again. It don't work that way again. We don't copy what is bad. The way that our fathers treat our mother, they treat them the wrong way. So we cannot continue in that manner doing the same thing. No, we have to change. You can live of a truth. You can live without conflict for years if there is understanding and if you invite the Holy Spirit to come into your own, to take charge, to lead your own. You can live without conflict. But of a truth, we know it's difficult to live without conflict. But when you invite the Holy Spirit into your home, He gives you direction. When you sense that this thing is about to bring conflict, you use the wisdom of God to end that conflict very easy. Why did I say that? Oh, you didn't do this thing right. Oh, I'm sorry. My problem that I was having before, I find it difficult to tell somebody sorry. That was one of my key problems. But today, I can easily tell you sorry. Why? Because the Holy Spirit now is not dwelling in me, it's not directing me. Because I am not a perfect man, likewise my spouse is not a perfect woman. But when we continue doing the wrong thing, we keep getting the wrong results. That is why we must have the Holy Spirit and we must continue to pray as a family, and we must continue to ask God to direct us so that we try to stay above conflict. But of a truth, for the new beginners that want to go into marriage or they're already there in the first 2-3 years up to the 5th year, no, it's going to be more than Jordan Barak for you. But I pray that the Almighty God give everyone the strength to overcome every conflict so that there will be resolution and there will be peace and there will be love and unity in every home. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. I love the way he just packages everything and boom, like that. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. For some people, for the first 5 years is like honeymoon, and then by the 6th year, the conflict comes so hard, unexpectedly sometimes, and it almost will tear them apart. And that is time to start putting in the effort. Serious work has begun. That's what your marriage journey is telling you. So it's not the time to give up on each other. It's not the time to fight and all of that. No, it is time to actually start building and building deep foundations as well. Thank you so much, Elder Kenneth, for your contribution. It's getting heated up. I don't know why some people, I don't know whether they're still watching what is going on here. I can see quite a number of people on the FY as well as people listening. Debbie, honestly, I've tried. I don't know if it's TikTok now or you're just wanting to be reserved there. Lala, good evening. Invitation, I don't know. But if you want to be part of this discussion tonight, please join us. Send me an invite and let's bring you up. Let's share our views, rub minds together, charge one another, because conflict will always happen in a marriage relationship. And if you say, oh, for me, no, you're wrong. I've been married 10 years, I've not. Well, pray that it continues that way. However, how deep is your foundation in that marriage? Because it will definitely come, except you guys have been in denial and nobody really wants to talk about things. You don't brush it aside, life goes on, brush it aside, life goes on. And this thing would come back to explode in a way you might not be able to handle. So if I were you, I'll call my spouse and truly check for the last 10 years. Truly, has there been no conflict? How did that happen? Or what have you missed? Because trust me, you don't want that to explode. Anyway, I'll leave that there. And good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Thursday. I hope you're good. I hope you can hear me clearly now.
Yes, I can hear you now. Good
Okay.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I was not feeling, in fact, I've not been feeling too well for a long time now. So maybe that's why I've not been so active here.
Oh,
But I'm getting better. Good evening, everyone.
good evening. I hope you're good.
Yes.
So we want to hear your views. What's your take? Why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively? Let's start with that.
Okay, firstly, I want to actually commend Mr. Kenneth for such a wonderful contribution. I think most men have to learn from him. I actually love the way he spoke. because sometimes and he actually spoke from his experience, and I think most young people actually have to listen to him. Maybe we should organize a program for men, because if you see
Why
these
not?
days, only women conference and convention everywhere. There's no gathering where men are seated
For
and being
men, I
taught
know
how
it's
to
really
actually lead a
hard.
home. We women are taught to be good wives, good mothers, and all that, but you hardly see an event where men are being
Even the
held
men.
accountable and being told how to actually lead a family, how to actually lead a home. So I think, Mr. Leslie, you have a calling though. Sorry, Mr. Kenneth, I mean,
Oh, Mr.
you have a
Kenneth,
calling though. You have to
both
fulfill
of them
your
really.
purpose
Yeah.
though. Yeah, same with Mr. Leslie. Although I did not really,
Yeah, he's
I
on.
was not on the live when Mr. Leslie was talking. Yes, I don't know why I can't see the comment too. Okay, okay, yes. So you asked a question. Sorry, I don't know if you can
Yeah.
repeat the question.
So,
No.
question number one is why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively?
Okay,
This one will
I
not attend
think
that kind of conference. We have to
it's
make it.
actually a they will attend. Why would they not attend?
No, it's true because of men. So, Leslie, this is an idea of offhand.
You just start a social media
Organize
page
a
for them.
golf tournament. Organize a golf tournament. What do men like? A football match or something? That's where you play football. By the time you're sitting and relaxing, having snacks,
Yes,
you give them the nuggets. Yeah. There's so many ways. There's so many ways. If you're serious about it,
yes. It can even be a business meeting.
a
Yes, a
business
business
one.
seminar. You can get it. Just chip in those things.
We'll pray for the right ideas because honestly speaking,
So,
ladies, sorry, Eno, ladies are taught to cook, to do this, to do that, be ready for your husband and all. Who's preparing that man for marriage as well? Who is doing that? So maybe it's high time our fathers, our elders start doing this program. Honestly, I miss Miles Monroe when it comes to that. God rest his soul. Yes, Eno, let's hear you. Why do they struggle to listen effectively?
okay, I would say it's actually it's a character trait, number one, a bad habit amongst, like, it's just their character, because most people they listen to Goliath, like, is sometimes it's just how they are, like, their default setting. That is how they are most times. Yeah, that is who they are most times. They just want to listen to see how to attack and all that. So to me, I would say that is one of the reasons most couples don't listen to themselves, because their default setting, they were never taught to listen and hear the other person out and calm down and answer calmly. Their default setting is, I must attack. I have to say something. I have to do something. So I would say that is one of the reasons why most couples don't actually
Listen
hear
effectively.
themselves out during conflict. And also, in the part of the man, I would say pride actually is part of it. When, for instance, Mr. Kenneth said something earlier that actually struck a point. He said that back then, like if his wife trying to advise him on something, he would be like, no, I'm the man here. Like, they don't they want to just shut down women. What do you have to say? Some of these things, a woman is a helper, because God has given you that woman to help your life. Sometimes when the woman advise you or give you one thing or the other and say, maybe just give her contributions to the marriage, some of these men, they don't take it. They just like, who is she to tell me what to do? They just feel like they don't even want to hear what she has to say. Let her just finish talking, and they just like,
The little
that's her
men.
own point. Yes, I have the final say in this matter. And some of these things, they are it's actually done from a place of love, because the woman wants to be better. She wants you to be better. She wants you to progress. She wants things to go well. And maybe the way she's presenting it is not, because sometimes she may even present it well, but because you already have this pride in you, you already blocked your
Very
mind and said that
little.
whatever she says, I'm not going to listen. and this woman is there to help your life. If you, because God says a man, it's not good for a man to be alone. He needs a helpmate. If God has given you a helpmate and this helpmate is trying to help you and you are not willing to follow the help, in most cases you remain stuck. You
Yeah.
remain stuck. I've heard of several stories whereby some men will be like, "Oh, thank God I listened to my wife. My wife advised me on something, and we followed through, and it worked out." And some men, you come, they'll start regretting. Oh, my wife said that I should not do this, but I later did it, and see what happened all the way. Sometimes the Holy Spirit speaks to your wife in a marriage, and if you are that man that have so much pride, and whatever your wife is saying does not concern you, you are just like she's actually a weaker vessel because you have so much pride. Even if she calm down, talk to you, advise you, let's do it this way, let's do this one, but you are just adamant. No, I can't do it that way because of maybe how you were brought up. This is how your father was doing it then. Your mother doesn't have any say in the house and all that. So you just feel that is the default setting is supposed to be. And in most cases, those men, they will end up being stalked for a long time. So I would just say, men, please loosen up. It's actually a marriage, and cause your wife is your partner. So you both are in the marriage together. If she's actually advising you about maybe your lifestyle, or maybe your decision, your career, or anything, it's because she wants the best from you, not that she's saying it to bring you down or to talk you down. She's saying those things because she wants the best from you. So that one is for the men. That one is for the men. Why for the women? The reason why most women wait, my hobbies for okay, Mrs. Susan, okay. The reason why most women are adamant they don't actually listen to their husband sometimes, will I call it oversabi or nobody can control me kind of character. So women are like that. Like, why will he tell me this? Why will he tell me that? Like, they don't want to, like, they have not yet seen that man as their head yet. They have not seen that man as their head yet. As in, how will I explain it? Maybe they belittle the man that how will he be the one to tell me what to do and all that. So these are some of the issues that actually causes conflict in marriage today. Not not listening to each other. So your husband will be complaining about some certain thing, and you don't want to, like, you don't want to pay attention to it. So I would say that those things are part of the things that leads to conflict in marriage.
Okay.
So that's my answer for that question.
Okay, so how can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? How?
Yes, conflict can either strengthen a marriage or break a marriage, depending on how it is handled. Yes, there are some conflicts that are beyond repair. Like now, what is trending online now of people are now normalizing keeping malice in marriage and adultery in marriage. So those kind of conflicts now that is already even on the media, it's very difficult to manage, to control, because everybody is now on the media, both the wife, the husband, everybody are now posting their own side of the story. And in that kind of situation, it will be difficult to actually manage such conflict. Such kind of conflict can actually break a home. Yes, can actually break a home. So for me these days, I've just been like, in fact, I will even advise every married person, please protect your marriage, because so many things flying around on the internet now. It's now making people normalize things that are not supposed to be heard. They are not normalizing it now in marriage. If you see a man boldly say he's keeping marriage with his wife, and, I actually saw people commenting under that post. I read a post and people were commenting. They were like, even their husband, that is how their husband does them. Their husband keep malice with them over little things. I was like, Jesus. I had this, like, is this really going on? God, please help us. And people are not normalizing adultery. Please, that is not the standards in
Hey.
marriage. Yes. So since I've cleared that, let me just go straight to the topic, to the question. Conflict can strengthen a marriage, yes, because the more, like, when you like you quarrel to know, like, to, okay, there's a saying that one of my friends always tells me. She said, if I'm doing something to you and you are not For instance, now, if I match your legs, like if I step on you now, and you don't say anything, you just keep quiet, I will not know you are offended. I will not know that by stepping on you, I've offended you. But if you tell me, this thing you did, I don't like it and all that, with that, I will take correction, and next time I will not do it again. So that is it. So conflict actually makes you know, okay, what your partner can accept and what they can't accept, so that next time you will know that, oh, this person does not like this person does not like that. Though we tell people who are dating in relationship to try to know yourself better, know what they like and hate, but sometimes you may when you get married, you start seeing things that you never imagined. You start seeing characters that, does this person behave like this? And so then you want to, why did I marry this person? If you ask yourself, did I make the right choice? Oh, well, you be asking yourself, did I make the right choice with this person? And some other days, you're like, wow, I'm married to the best person in the whole world. And
Isn't
so
that
I would say
life?
conflict actually. Sorry, what did you say?
Isn't that life?
Yes, yes, that is it. So I would say conflict strengthens a marriage. It can make a marriage stronger. It can actually make a marriage break too. It depends on how it is handled. So if there's a conflict, the both parties should find a way to bring a resolution to it. Like Mr. Kenneth have said that at least don't sleep with that conflict for that day. That is why the bed is there. In fact, most married counselors will advise when you are getting married, get a small bed so that whenever you are quarreling, by the time you shift that side, you shift and hit your wife, and shift and hit your husband. If you have a very wide bed, but you don't figure how to stay at the edge of the bed.
Two or three people can sleep in between.
So that is it. If married people learn to, like, just make it a culture in your marriage that, oh, if me and my husband are quarreling, we must not sleep with that quarrel. If you make it a culture in your house, no matter what,
Yeah.
like, once it's dark, no matter what, you must settle yourself. Personally, I don't know how people do it, like how people keep malice. Personally, if I'm not happy with my husband or we are quarreling, I'll be having headache and chest pain. And most times I will not be able to sleep. Like, no matter how I try to sleep, I will not be able to sleep. Sometimes I'll be awake till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because I can't sleep. In most cases, I will just come and I will go and stay close to my husband, my head on his head, put my head on his hand, on his shoulder, and stay like that before I will not be able to sleep. So I don't even know how couples do it, and how they say they keep malice in marriage, because personally I can't even do it, because before the next morning maybe I will just faint or something. So, so I would say we should actually try to apply that in our marriages. Just try your best that let there be an agreement that, in this marriage, when there's an argument, we must settle it before the next day and all that. Okay, we must not threaten ourselves with this or that. We must not do this and that. So those kind of things will actually put you both in check and in place. And in most cases, when there's conflict, keep it to yourself. Sometimes you can actually settle it within yourself instead of involving a third party. Because sometimes, why the conflict will not become very escalated in most cases is because a third party is now involved, and that third party is not even is not the one causing more issues. So sometimes you can even handle this yourself within just you and your spouse. People just discuss about it and handle it. That is if your spouse is mature, though. But in some cases, if you involve a third party, it will not even become even more worse, because that person you actually telling also have marriage problem. That person you are telling is not perfect. That person also have their own issues. So in most cases, you just settle it yourself. But if it's something that you can't settle yourself, that is when you now involve a third party to actually settle it. So yes, and after conflict comes great. In fact, if you finish quarreling and you put not settle it now increases the bond between you and your spouse. You now discover that you now become more closer self than before. So sometimes conflict actually makes the bond stronger in marriage. So yeah, that's my take for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eno. Thank you. It's very important that I think I said that when I was giving my talk that sometimes, no matter how many years you've been in that marriage, sometimes you get to that place where you're stuck. Husband, wife, nobody, headway, and in front of that, such conflict is just lingering on and on and on. That's why I said get a counselor, get a mentor or a spiritual leader that you can trust, because these things are very crucial, very important. And no man is an island, no couple is an island. Some are mature enough, as Elder Kenneth say, to sit down and tackle it head on, and they resolve whatever it is. But some, they are just stuck there, and in front of that, these things is just escalating out of control, and they might need the help of a third party. However, I think that's Lala. You have to be mindful whichever third party you're bringing in, because they're not always bad, mind you. Some experience have shown that they will come in and that's the end of that marriage. Some, they even help that marriage to bond some more. That's why I always say be Holy Ghost catered. Let the Holy Spirit direct you to the third party if at all you get stuck to that stage and you need that help. It's very crucial, very important. And I pray that God will give us wisdom regarding that. Thank you so much, Relationship with Enoch, for your submissions as well. Debbie, good evening. I'm going to come to you, Debbie, and then I'll come to Haproina. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm trying. Debbie, good evening. Oh, let's hear you. I hope you're good. Happy Thursday. Been going back and forth, but I'm still trying to see the order in which people came into the box, so you don't have to wait too long. Can Debbie speak, or do you want me to move on? Good evening. How are you? You sound tired. I didn't hear what you said though. Debbie, I think a call came in. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to. Are you there?
I'm there. I don't know what's wrong with TikTok. I don't know. Maybe it's my network or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I'm hearing you now, anyways.
good, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Welcome. P.O. Opoku, I think. I see you. Good evening.
Conflict resolution in marriage.
Mm,
I think I only came in at the last part of your talk.
okay. Yeah, well, we have two questions we're tackling with. Let me start with the second question with you. Can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? I mean, with people you've experienced, when they fight, is that the end of them? Or when there's a conflict, it kind of even bring them closer? What do you think?
Can conflict strengthen the marriage?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Conflict
Yeah.
does not strengthen anything.
Oh, okay. How
I
or
don't.
why? Why
Don't.
not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Except I don't know if there's a positive conflict. That's the thing. Because
But then people are in marriages for 40, 50. Are you saying that there was no conflict?
they have misunderstanding, I don't think it's conflict. Conflict is more than misunderstanding, I
Hmm.
believe.
Okay, that's another level
Because
now.
if we are saying conflict, we are more or less saying a junior sister to war, a junior sister to fight, a junior. So they have misunderstanding, they have disagreements, they have, yes, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
conflict.
conflict simply means disagreement.
Yeah, but not in that level where. mm,
So okay, this is how I think it is, so that you
okay.
can have another perspective to it. So conflict means disagreement, but there are levels. Some disagreements could never be resolved and it's a divorce. Some leads to
Yes.
separation. So it's the level of that disagreement which is still conflict, anyways.
Yeah,
Mm.
I get that conflict is disagreement, but I think conflict in English word is a strong disagreement. So a disagreement and a strong disagreement is not the same thing.
That's what it's the same thing we're saying, but in different words.
Okay, let's leave it like that then. But I think if it's just a minor disagreement, yes, maybe it will strengthen them. He helps them to know each other better, understand each other better, and all that. But if it's beginning to affect one's mental health, someone else's emotion, and all that, I don't think it strengthens anything.
Okay.
I don't think that strengthens anything because at the end of the day, the more conflicts you have unresolved, the more gap,
Mm.
the more the gap you are building in the relationship or in the marriage. And even conflicts that you think is minor, if it's getting too much, if it's once it's getting too much, it's getting to a stage where your spouse now say they have no expectation of you.
That's serious.
It's getting to that stage, so they just decide, okay, they want to hold their peace. So it depends. That's why I always advise. In fact, Mr. Leslie and senior elder Leslie and most senior elder Kenneth have said it all.
Mm.
No matter how much we say it, marriage cannot work if every time all we do is resolve conflicts. When are we going to make money?
When is peace even going to reign?
When peace refuse now to reign, nko, how are we gonna make the money? How will our two chase tens of thousands when even as an individual we've not chased 1,000, and when we even come together, instead of us to come together and chase the 10,000, it's one argument today, another one tomorrow. I'm sorry, if it's up to that level where we are not understanding each other, we should call each other to order, find a solution to it, find help where it's needed, find help. I i think within when I was younger, there are some this couple that every time, and there's this nonsense a lot of people do. You have misunderstanding with your spouse, and you will say everything that you know. If they take you to the court of law, they just need to hang you. You will say everything, insult their father, their mother, their everybody. How are we going to resolve that? How will that bring us together? How? Action can be wave off in a way, not fully wave off, but words. There are some people that their memory is very, 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 very strong. That word etched into the back of their mind like that.
Yeah.
And once you said it,
They've heard it.
you can't take it back. So I don't think, little misunderstanding here and there, maybe yes, but that should not be every time. Even that should not be all the time. Within a week, 7 days in a week, you guys argue 5 days in a week. I don't know, but I'm saying my opinion. I don't think that is healthy. I don't think that is healthy. And then you are in your home, you are walking on eggshell. Please, people, let's leave Mr. Malice alone, no, because it's. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
In fact, it seems everybody knows about this Mr. Malice. I'm
I
just
don't blame.
hearing that here tonight.
I don't blame him. Number one, I don't think he's mentally healthy. That aside, then I blame the people that decides to want to do life with that kind of person. Because you cannot tell me that no matter as bad as it is during your dating time, you didn't see a trace of his madness. You can't tell me that during the time you were dating, you didn't see a trace of his madness. This one that the matter now explain, shebi his second wife. Are you saying you are innocent too? Did you ask what happened to the first one? Misunderstanding is good. It helps us, but at the same time, conflict that is a stronger version of misunderstanding. I'm sorry, it doesn't strengthen anything.
Okay.
It weakens the building. Because at the end of the see, I always say this and I will always say it. Study who you are dealing with. Study who you are dealing with. A little drop of their action, a little drop of their action is actually who they are. You have not just seen it.
In full.
You just need to come in and they will show you who they are in full, be it good or bad. See, I don't laugh. Oh, when I was, what's it called, thinking about dating, there is this guy I dated. Hey, my God, you would think when you first meet him, you would think angel of God have come in human form. You would think you've met angel in human form. Then if you are 100 in the room, all of you will make all of you laugh. In fact, you'll be saying, Dammy, Debbie, you have met, oh God has answered your prayer. Even mothers are saying, oh Debbie, oh. Let me mistakenly, maybe I shift in a wrong way, or I breathe in a wrong way, and it now happen to meet him on the left side of the brain. Oh my goodness. The first time it happened, you know, when you have fear all over you, I was like, yeah. I was just praying, Father, take me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of this. Get. Ah!
Wow.
I was like, get me out of here. Father, get me out of this. Oh my God. David, what did you do to yourself? How did you get here? There's no question I did not ask myself. But I was like, okay, I told myself a lie that, oh, maybe you too. I was like, okay, maybe you didn't mean it. Maybe, and that is a part of me that I'm working on. The reason I gave myself that maybe is because when I step out fully, there's no going back. That I know. So I don't want anything that will make me say, oh, maybe I should have taken it easy with him. The second time, and then the third time, I was like, okay, Debbie, this is where God has helped us, Ebenezer. You are, every time we are supposed to talk, I have to overthink before I open my mouth.
Papa, no.
For how long am I going to do that nonsense? And me, I know. I was like, nah. I was like, no. That is him. And that is him in 1%. Imagine I now go ahead. I will see I will. That's why some people naturally, them conflicts, they are together. If you hear their name, you hear conflict. You hear conflicts. So study who you are dealing with so that you know how to deal with them. Even when your mind is in, there are sometimes your mind and your body is in conflict with each other. You as human being, you know how restless you are. That is you within you. Now imagine you with somebody, with another human being. Another human being you are supposed to sleep on the same bed with. Another human being you are supposed to eat together. You are supposed to work in the same house together. So I don't see it strengthening anything. It weakens it. It weakens it. Little misunderstanding here and there, good, but even that, once that is getting too much, it leads to more. It leads to a strong disagreement. And there are some people that they will remind you what you did in January, February, March, April, May, December 2022 with dates. So know who you are dealing with. Misunderstanding is good, but when it's leading to, it weakens the marriage. It weakens the relationship. It weakens the friendship. It weakens the foundation of your marriage. What's the second question?
So the second question, which is, well, of course, why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively?
They never learned to listen to each other before they marry. They never learned to. It was never something important to them.
I see.
From the see, all these things we are talking about, it still goes back to the foundation. It still goes back to the foundation of how we started. If we start on a platform of, oh, you say your own, I say my own, you say your own, I say my own, no one is not keeping quiet for one, and we decide to move on without resolving that, without sorting out that, that's our pattern. That's our pattern. And mostly the reason a lot of people don't work on that is because when they listen to another person say what they did, or what is wrong, or what happened, they tend to see their fault. Most people don't want to see where they are wrong. It's more or less like, okay, we have a misunderstanding. You are saying something, I'm listening to you. As you are saying it, I'm reflecting. So because a lot of people don't want to reflect on their action, they would rather scatter everywhere. At the end of the day, you didn't resolve anything. So I think it's because they are avoiding accountability.
Okay.
That's why they will not listen to each other. Because if they know, if they listen to each other, you have to give a reason why you did what you did. If there is a reason, and you have to change. So I think it's because they are trying to avoid accountability.
Okay.
They are trying to avoid reflecting on their action. That's why they don't listen to each other. Because listening is not it's not something that is that hard. You just need to learn to do it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for your contribution. We can always listen. Sometimes we hear each other, we're not listening, and it goes a long way. That's why we're not responding the right way or with the solution, so to say. And if both parties keep doing that, the struggle continues, conflict continues, nothing gets resolved. And where does that leave peace in that marriage? So, these are food for thought. Let's think about it, let's reflect more about it. God will continue to help us. Thank you so much, Debbie, for your contribution. So I'm coming to Shan. Oh, the thing just dropped you now. Let me see if I can find her. Okay. Shan, if you're listening, please just send an invite when you're back. I don't know, maybe you were dropped. I don't know. If you're in the box, please, the least we can do is keep liking the live so that we're active and TikTok doesn't just throw us off. So I'm going to come to Susan, I believe. Susan, good evening. Yeah, and then I'll come to Lala. If Shan doesn't show, that's what's going to happen.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I was on call, so I had to use my husband's phone to
Oh, okay.
join so that I'll be listening. Imagine me using two phones, one in one ear, one on the other ear.
Well done. You did well. Well, it's good to have you again today. So yeah, we're talking about conflict resolution in marriage. Why do couples struggle to listen to each other? Don't know, maybe have a different spin to this, or do you think they're not struggling? They actually listen, but they're not just doing the right thing. What is your take about this?
Two captain cannot lead a ship.
Really? Well, this is marriage.
Yeah, ship is it not a relationship? There's a ship in the marriage. So,
Marriage ship.
mhm. So sometimes we don't listen, or we listen, but we choose not to listen right. Because when there's conflict, two people are talking. Who is going to listen to each other? Nobody. But that's why I say two captains cannot lead a ship. So one will have to wait for the other one to finish talking, and then you now listen and act accordingly. But the thing is, it's not like the elder Debbie said. It has to start from foundation.
Yeah.
Study who you're dealing with, but then it's a study that you will never graduate because
Okay.
a lot of people a lot of people hide, a lot of people they pretend a lot.
Yeah. Susan, carry on. I'm coming just for a minute, please.
It's only when you start living with them then you now understand that this person was really pretending, this person was pretending, so you may not understand why people at the end of the day you say, but we've been married for 10 years and you still behave the way you're behaving. That's because people can pretend. And when people are pretending, the day they will show themselves, you'll be shocked and you'll shove it under. I want to know the origin of the word elder. Oh, okay. So people now shove it under the carpet because they don't they just say, well, it's one of those things. But at the end of the day, it's not one of those things. You've shoved it under the carpet, you don't sort it out, and it becomes a problem. So conflict, it's a two-way thing. There's a good conflict, there's a bad one. Bible says, do not allow the sun to go down with your wrath. The same Bible says, can two work together except they agree? So you always have to disagree to agree. You agree to disagree is a normal thing. But then when you now extend that disagreement, sometimes some people do, they extend it, they learn from their mistakes, they learn from their conflicts, and they move on. Like, I think the second question is, can conflict bring bonding or bring marriage together? Sometimes it does, because in that process where you don't you're not talking, some people at that point they are reflecting. Oh, what did I do wrong? Did I do this? Should I come and apologize? Should I not? Should I? And one day the should will now should, and you now find yourself talking, and you now sit down and iron things out. And then tomorrow, at least you will not make the same mistake, or even at that, you now learn and say, okay, this thing has happened. This is I've learned from this one. I will now move forward. I remember even me and my we quarrel. Oh, the last quarrel we had, 1 week we were not talking. And me, I was enjoying it. I'll just come back from work and sleep. I'll not even the first time I asked, I said, will you eat? Oh, I heard from work. I said, okay. You have somebody that's feeding you from work, no problem. So the next day I did not ask. I just came back, got ready, went to bed. I was enjoying it for 1 week. So, but then afterwards, in that process of not talking to each other, me that will say, "Ah, na wow, na so you do." Him too, he come and watch me sleep inside. See this one, she dey sleep. That's how he could not sleep because you go to the sitting room and be sleeping. Me, I sleep. I will spread from there. It was when we said to him loud, he was not talking. He said, sometimes he will come and watch me sleeping. In his head, he's like, see him in the bed, me at the sleep.
Oh, hunger problem.
But then with that, it got us stronger together. We agreed, okay, if no matter you want quarrel reach, there's a limit.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can bring people together, but then there are conflicts that will never. It will never. Some people, if it's infidelity, the woman might, but you see the men, the way they are wired, it's not something that we want to talk about because we don't know men. The men can Elder Leslie is here, can speak for his gender. But you see, with our gender, we will say, okay, it's in a man's DNA. The man rule the world. The man is the head of the house. All those stupid mentality, consolidation. We start consoling ourselves with that, and then you say, okay, let it lie under the carpet, and then it will become a habit. By the time it blows up, such conflicts you start counting and counting, and people will be wondering, so you've been keeping quiet, so wetin come happen, why you dey talk for this one now? If you've been swallowing it, continue swallowing it. So sometimes even when conflicts come on social media, I'm like, excuse me, this is not the first time it started. So
No.
why you blowing out of proportion because they just found you out. Now you are please let us rest. Let's concentrate on something different. But some people just feel it's like that man that he's king of malice. After the whole thing, my husband say, I no go keep malice again o with my wife o after the king of malice saga came out, all those things. But you can see how damaging it could lead. So that one is really, really bad conflict. But then there are still good conflicts that could, bring to everybody together. You now realize, oh, this is wrong, this is right. You now make amends and decide not to put things under the carpet, because putting things under the carpet sometimes spoils the whole relationship. It's a ship, like I say. If you're married, it's a ship that you're in. So you need to allow one person to be the captain and you be assistant captain. But the reason why we don't listen is because we just both of us want to become captain, especially if you listen to two educated people in their you'll be like, it seems like this school that you people went is the one controlling your marriage, because the way they'll be talking, it's too eloquent. You'll be like, this one will be quoting, and you're like, it would have been better one of you did not go to school. Because
Really told them.
and when you see both of them talking, you hear the things they are talking about, you'll be so shocked. I have a friend, both of them, when they start quarreling here, this one will say this one will say, it reach like that. And then I still have two that one is educated, one is not. When you hear the one that's educated blowing grammar, The one that is not educated will start crying. Ah, is it because I did not do this? Is it because I say, he don't cry now, woman you be. Come on, not they cry, you go win this matter. You don't bring matter come, we just encourage ourselves, but then you know what? It's just good to listen to each other, not just listen to respond, but listen, assimilate before you open your mouth and start talking. I think it's our response that creates more conflict, because when one is vibrating and you keep quiet, by the time you open your own mouth, you now spoil the whole matter. So it's outside will tell you Gondama Kaima shuru, just shoo 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 shoo, just shuru. Don't say anything. Maybe later you will now talk. Like me, when I'm quarreling and you asking me questions, I'll start crying. So I just keep quiet, or I might say things that I may regret tomorrow. So I rather don't even say anything. I will just quiet and sleep over it. Probably I'll send you a text message or I'll send you a voice note, because if I talk, am I overyan? So I don't even bother, I just shush and just let it lie low. The next day we'll talk about it, or on the phone where I'm not seeing you, because if I'm seeing you, I'll be vibrating. I will start remembering all the nonsense you said and all that. Me too, I will now want to put my own petrol inside the fire, and the whole house will get burnt. So in such situation, just let it lie low. When you're calmer, you now, face the giant. But when we all talk, thinking both captains can lead the ship, or more, your ship is gonna capsize. Have a lovely evening, everybody.
Thank
Thank you very
you,
much.
Susan. Thank you. However, I want to challenge something I heard when I was away that you said. You talked about some people pretend. I mean, no doubt about it, sometimes some people pretend. However, have you thought about the fact that, say, a 30-year-old meets a 27-year-old lady and they got married? They're in their 30s, yeah, and they get married. The fact that everybody's still growing in character, in mindset, in all of this, you don't know who this person is going to grow into in the next 10 years. But when you're dating, courting, everything tick, 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 there was no red flag that you could not have flagged, that was not addressed. It wasn't anything major or anything like that. So it was okay, everybody okay. And then you get married. And in that marriage, because it's a lifelong journey, they are growing. You're growing as well. But sometimes this is where I think our mind do not, I mean, nobody wants to think negative, but this person is now growing and forming certain bad habits. It's as a result of people that they're meeting or whatever, and they bring this into the marriage, and you start seeing that this is not the person you married or what. That can also happen and can also bring conflict. You wouldn't say this person was pretending, they were hiding themselves, but this is who they are growing into or becoming.
I understand that people can learn, people can bring some bad habits from outside. As soon as you perceive that, you start beating your hammer. This is not, you start talking about it. But then some people don't even say a word. Even when others outside, they are seeing it, they are talking, you're not even listening. It's as if you start saying, who has bewitched you? Who has bewitched you? That's when people will start thinking it's witchcraft, because everybody is seeing it. You are the only one that is not seeing it. There's something is wrong somewhere. I have an example of that. I'm telling you out of from experience. A friend, they are not even married. They just had a child, and if everybody is saying this relationship is toxic, it's toxic. He's the only one that is not saying it. So you cannot say, oh, this person, they bewitched you, or probably if they have bewitched you and people are trying to bring you out of the bewitchment, you are not bringing yourself out. You're still going deeper and deeper. Because at the end of the day, you've seen that that person has displayed a lot of dirty attitudes within your friends, your siblings, and you're still going in. People are telling you this, you're hearing this, you're not listening. So that one, what will you say about it? And then after a while, you now tell me, oh, you are done. You are done. The next few weeks, you are back again. Who has bewitched you, oh Israel? Kilo day. You know, sometimes you can see, you can smell those things. I remember those days, my sons that you say, he needs to be collecting the benefit, he needs to be doing this. I say, is that what your friends are telling you outside? They may have 4 children. You have only one. Do you think the money is the same thing? You know, so there are some talks that people will talk. You will know that it's somebody that is feeding them. So you that knows the truth, you need to hit it and correct it immediately. Because if you don't correct it, that's when wahala starts. And that's when you start having conflict, unnecessary arguments. But because you understand what is going on, if you do not hit it, conflict will start. And you will not see the end of that conflict.
Okay, thank you. So many scenarios, so many issues, so many conflicts will arise on this journey called marriage. And the more reason you will have to tackle it early enough, sometimes beyond your trying effort and all that, cannot escalate, because different challenges would bring about different misunderstandings to either shake your foundation or shake what you have and see where you're going to come out on the other side. And you and I know that a lot of people have come out on the other side called divorce. Some have come out on the other side, even happy marriage. Some have decided to even remarry themselves, and a whole lot different scenarios. And that's what we're talking about it here on Insight before it gets to the divorce or separation bit. Let us talk about these things. Which way forward? Skills we need to acquire, skills we need to learn, unlearn, or whatever we need to do. When we talk about things, they say a problem shared is half solved. Here we don't have all the solutions, but we're putting heads together to talking about certain ways that are right, about handling conflict, certain ways that are not. If you really want to enjoy your marriage and you want that peace, we have to do the work, people. Nobody will come and work for your marriage for you to enjoy it. You and your spouse will have to do the work. So thank you,
Sorry to
Suzanne.
cut, sorry to cut you. One of my patients today, she's 66. On Sunday is her birthday. She said, I hope my husband will not come because he's going to make the day boring. I said, how long have you been married for? She said, 43 years.
Oh
And,
my goodness.
you know what she said? And he's not my next of kin. I've told him my father is my next of kin, then my children, because he is not my blood. This is somebody that she has married for 43 years. And I'm like, why? Why do you, what's going on? I'm trying to understand why she said so. She just ended and told me he's not her blood. I said, but this same guy gave you 3 boys. She said, those boys are her blood. He is not her blood. So you
Wow.
can imagine, only God knows the bitterness that she has been holding for her to even come to that conclusion. Then there's this other one, they've been in a relationship. Every month she goes to the hospital, he had to call off the relationship because he will not want to know somebody that has mental illness that's always in the hospital. So if he had not dealt with it as, okay, let me marry her, she will change, and she does not change, what do you think the question will be? You knew this all this while, and you still went ahead. So now every time she has emotional breakdown, she's crying, she's banging her head, she's doing all sorts, all because of that. Even me in my mind, I've asked myself, you go marry yourself. Because I know I don't want to ask her that question, because if I ask her, she will bang the head tired that day. That's like, will you marry yourself? You
Wow.
know, there's some issues, some things you see, you'll be like, come on, what's all this nonsense? You get to get up and sort your nonsense out. Today she was showing me pictures of herself when she was okay. I said, can you not get back to this? And you know that topic made her, she banged her head today.
Wow.
Because I'm sure she will sit down and think, truly, I should have gotten back to this, but I cannot because I keep hearing voices. Why would you allow those voices to overshadow you?
Well, I can say to you that they need counseling, and the kind of counseling they need is not just the normal. They need solid counseling. To be honest with you, a whole lot of I think a bit of psychodynamic might help them, and a bit of CBT would help them definitely.
Nothing has helped her. She has been traveling from one hospital to the other. She's been in the hospital since 14 years. She's 33 now. So
But
this is
have
not
they ever
allowed.
gone into counseling? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, even in the mental world, we have psychologists. They do CBT, DBT, and all those things. They do everything. Nothing works for that girl. When you're tired, when this hospital is tired, they move her to another hospital. She'll spend like 6 months. She's gone round almost all the mental health hospital. They know her. So
In such a case, I mean, it's just unfortunate. You wish
we
you could
cannot
lay
help
hands to
her.
lay hands on such a
In
person and
fact, one
pray.
person will just say, you know what, she's a psychopath because all she thinks about is herself. He does not think about others.
See,
It does
there's
so much. Well, you know what?
I'm not making an excuse. Maybe it's the counselor in me talking. Something has crossed the balance in her, and whatever work she will have to do is not going to be a day's work. In fact, God knows how long it will be, and that's even if, she's strong enough to, kind of shift back because the mind, the way the mind works, sometimes, especially when this person is showing you what they were before, so that means they can actually live that life again, but how
Because
to
I was
get
even
them back.
appreciating the futures in her. I said, look at your eyelashes, very long. Yet people spend money to do eyelashes. And then she was showing me the pictures of herself. I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
is this
something
you
has
or your sister? I was trying to like talk and talk. And then she just stood up, went out, had a drink, came back, went for a vape. She's been trying to hide. She masks her problem. So, and the only way she can release is just to headbang. And there's a stunt on her head. If she hits that head so much, she's gonna die. She said that is what she wants. She just wants to end it.
yeah,
So
that's
such
one.
things. They've done all the therapy they can. All we're doing is just to manage her until the day they move her away from us to another place. So there's a lot going on. Let's not think this conflict of a thing. There's a lot. Let's not go there.
Yeah, sometimes it's like we're just what's the word now? We're just words fail me right now. May we not find issues in life that would shift, all the balance we think we have. I think it was Leslie that was talking about someone nursing maybe an illness or something. You never can tell. In the last couple of weeks, my good, I've just been oh, a lot of things going on in the marriage world, in the world generally. We know that. But then, as much as it lies with us, there's certain things that you just need to handle quickly before it escalates into something beyond our control. Otherwise, God helping us, we have grown up children that can hold the fort table. If we don't, what then happens? For some people, as a result of some of the things we mentioned today, they've just crossed to that line, maybe chronic pride, and they can't even see it. And it's affecting them, it's affecting their spouse, it's affecting their family, it's affecting everything around them, and yet they might not even still see it. So there's a whole lot going on, but like I said, I pray that God will give us wisdom. And if you have Holy Spirit, He reveals all things. About your spouse, God can reveal to you. About you, God can reveal to your spouse as well. And that's why we need to work hand in hand, and God helping us to build in this marriage. Thank you, Susan, for the addition. Shan, good evening. Finally, she's back. Good evening, Shan.
Good evening.
What's the tug of war going on there with you and TikTok?
I don't know. Becoming unfriendly to me.
Oh, please TikTok be friendly to our community, please. Well, it's good to have you back. I don't know what your take is on. If you want the questions again, or you have a perspective you're bringing to this topic, we're talking about conflict resolution in marriage.
I didn't hear quite much of your presentation.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I would want to respond to the questions.
Okay,
Which is I kind of got the second one, but you can just repeat the questions.
so the first one is, why do many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively?
I I was listening to Susan's presentation submission, and it's really worrying. How can you get married to someone for like 40 something years and you still see each other? It's like enemies, and I just asked myself, like, for these 43
There's
years,
a
how
lot
were
of
they
things in
surviving?
that case, Shan. There's a lot of things they did not deal with, and it's grown
Yeah.
with them over the years,
Mm-hmm,
and it's almost become
mm-hmm,
normal, even though they're not happy. But they've just
mm-hmm.
decided to be there and not deal with things.
Yeah. I was also thinking that probably because I've ever mentioned here that there are tiny, tiny, tiny issues that people really ignore.
Mm.
And someone might think, okay, this is minor. It's not very important. I don't think it can, affect our relationship. People only look at big stuff like cheating, maybe violence and other things. But there could be just tiny, tiny misaligned things, and tiny, even if just maybe someone shouting on you today, the tiny things that compile and becomes very, very big issue. You know how you create heaps of anything one by one makes a band, and the moment they really overload, you cannot start, you know like dismantling them one on one at the same time. That means if it's been like for 40 years, no amount of therapy is going to, that means you need probably 40 years to dismantle
It
each one
can
of them.
work. Therapy can work, but it's going to be a very long time. It could be a
Yes.
long time. But the thing
It
is,
could
sorry
be.
to cut you because I'm responding based on my capacity. And the thing is, because they've not really sat down to deal with it, so sometimes when you sit with them and you help them see what they haven't dealt with, then if they're ready to put in the work, it doesn't have to take years. But because they've not done that ever before, it piled up and piled up and piled up. So one after the other, they have to visit certain things that they've blocked for years and years and see it for what it is, and then find a solution to it, really.
Mhm. I think, yeah, that's true. But to respond to the question, why
They
couples
struggle to
struggle to
effectively, yeah.
deal with conflicts, um, I would want to mention something
Please.
called ego. We all know.
Yeah.
When we actually, today I encountered something like ego.
I
So
see.
I was in a car with my cousin brother, and then there was another person coming at the front too. So we decided to use a shortcut instead of using the main car to kind of like dodge traffic. So this shortcut is a way that if two cars cannot meet at the same time. So for us, we came from the farthest, and then there was this guy, of course, with a Range Rover, and we were not in a Range Rover. He looked to be some guy with, rich and all that. So my cousin brother dimmed the light, showed the light, telling him, "Okay, you first wait. Let me first come," because he had enough space for him to wait for us. Guy, I know it was ego, decided to ignore. So we both came and met on the road. Like, my brother cannot drive back, because that means it will be a very, very long distance for him to give the guy way. The guy had a chance of driving back for only like less than even a minute for him to give us way. Trust me, this guy did not. So my brother also, so they both stopped for almost 30 minutes. I
Wow.
got pissed. I told my cousin brother, like, both of you are acting on egos. I told him, can I? Small cows should give big machine. There's nothing about small cows or big cows and
Yala,
all that.
please don't get me started. I mean, courtesy
So
even
I
demands really.
I got so pissed. It was getting late. We needed to reach where we were going very early. So this guy started being on his phone, like giving us attitude and all that. And then my cousin brother here also acting on ego, the other guy too. So I told my cousin brother, was like, let me just go out and tell them, why don't you go out and talk to him and tell him what, probably maybe he doesn't know. Some people just, they look big for nothing. But I knew he was acting on ego. I told him, well, like, my cousin brother, well, okay, I'm not going to get out at all. So he thinks he has it and all that. And I was like, okay, let me now go and what? Try to talk to him, tell him to reverse back so that he gives us way. Because if we try, we're going to ditch ourselves in the what? In the pit, and it will be very hard for us to. My cousin brother, like, don't you dare open that gate, that door and get out. was like, I've ever dealt with this kind of people. I know who they are. And then in my mind, I was like, this can escalate into a very big thing. It just brought a memory that happened of mine, something that happened in Uganda. And that same scenario was a rich man who ended up shooting someone because of such scenario. Rich man, I think Lala knows about, is from our tribe. Some rich man shot him because of scenario like that. Then I started imagining, I was like, just because of ego, this could escalate into something very big. So, but again, what pissed me was, okay, the other guy was acting so much on ego, but also my cousin brother. What pissed me off is him stopping me from going to speak to the other, because I thought maybe he would listen to me. I just wanted to try out. Then I told my brother, like, you guys, ego is not going to do anything. This will escalate, could escalate into something, So both of you are going to wait here for how long? The the motorcycle riders were coming. Even some motorcycle rider came and begged my brother for 10 minutes. We're like, okay, he was trying to signal him where he could reverse, like something very small, like to create space for the other guy. But my brother said no. I got pissed and I told him, you know what, I'm getting out. If an escalation is to happen, I don't want to be part of it. To the point that I begged him, and some other people, onlookers, came now. About 5-6 people came and tried to now beg my brother. I told him, you know what, if not, I'm going to leave in this situation, because you don't want to, lower your ego. You want to be like him, both of you. I cannot deal with it. Let me leave you here and you deal with your stuff. Let me try and find my way out. Probably somehow he listened to me and to the other people, and he reversed back. I told him, you know what, you lowering your ego is not going to remove anything. It won't make you manless. Yes, the other one showed much of his ego, probably maybe because of the type of car he has and all that and all. But you lowering yourself, you don't lose anything. Actually, he might think he won, but he didn't win. So it goes back to conflict. If both of you are egoistic, like there's an issue ongoing, but none of you doesn't want to listen to the other. Actually, none of you even want to start a conversation about it. So how are you going to solve that conflict? Even when it comes to conflict, the other person wants to pin the other. No one wants to be pinned. It's even worse when you know that you did something, you're responsible for something, but you're still trying to bring all kinds of things to make sure that you get away with it. There's no way you're going to solve a conflict, especially if it's about winning. Someone has to win, and someone has to pin someone. Someone has to make someone feel that, okay, you did this to me, you're the bad person here, you're the worst person here. There's no way you're going to solve conflict. It would require all of you to understand. And for me, what I do most times, yes, you did me bad, but now I'm going to talk about, we maybe even going to quarrel, probably we're even going to throw words and all that, and by the end of it all, what are you guys looking at? I'm so much against thinking of, okay, he need to apologize because he did this. Why don't we shift from saying that, okay, you did this, what are you going to do about it? What can we, like, how can we solve it so that you don't do it next time? But above all, what I like doing, even if yes, someone did me bad, I also don't want to pin that person 100%. I'm going to find something that there can be no way I didn't contribute something. Even if it's 0.0%, I contributed to it. Yes, he's going to apologize, but I'll also apologize so that it makes it feel like, okay, it wasn't only about me. She brought this up, she wanted me to change, but also, she recognizes. So ego is a very, very big thing that makes it very hard for conflict to get resolved or even, solved.
Okay, thank you. So the second question is, can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? And if it can, how? Or if
I think conflict can strengthen marriage and relationships, or even just resolve whatever caused that conflict. But as I mentioned, it depends on what is the intent, what is the intention of the conflict, what caused the conflict. But again, why are you guys conflicting? Are you creating conflict because you want to pin the other person, or you want the person to change, or you want to see something change out of what caused it? So I think first of all, I mentioned that, what is your intention? Are you trying to understand each other, or you just want to win? And conflict can only be a means of resolve depending on how you handle it. Susan mentioned it, how you handle it, and most times how you express each other, how you explain yourself to each other. I'm always so much keen on the tone, and if while resolving conflict, you first want to throw insults, and not just mere insults, by the way. Insults, there are lots of people that start attacking each other, using each other's history, then they go to family and all that. There's no way that conflict is going to, mend things. There's no way it's going to mend a relationship, because at that point you've gone too deep. And after the conflict, do you repair? Sometimes not even about just forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is there, but after what else do you do to make sure that, okay, we've repaired ourselves? I would call it like, maybe besides apologizing, you even adjust. Apologizing is not enough, because someone can apologize now, 2, 3, 4 days, then they do the same thing. So how is it going to to mend the relationship? But yeah, I think conflict reawakens people. Especially, I don't want to say that sometimes Africans, there's the word they use, I forgot. Like, I think Lala, no, in our language they say Lao Mira like Lao Mira like, but Lao is my tribe. So I like, what is it? There's something they use for pounding, a mortar and pestle. Yes. So in my language they say like Lao tribe needs a pestle. Like sometimes they need to be hit hard for them to understand. There are some people that no amount of kind words, sit down conversations, some people will just misunderstand you. Not actually misunderstand, like take advantage of your calmness in a conversation. Sometimes you need to do something that's going to reawaken their spirits, even if you're not doing it intentionally. But most times that is the only strategy that would make them realize that, okay, I think I need to stop doing this. It's not the right thing. So conflict will make someone think that, okay, I think I've gone beyond, I need to change. And some people might even need you to throw insults at them. There was a time a friend of mine, a girl, I kept talking to her about some of the behavior she was having. She has 3 children right now with 3 different men, very young, younger than me, very young, younger than me. I keep telling her, like, girl, what do you want? How are you going to raise these kids? You don't have education, you don't have support system, none of this, baby daddies of yours are supporting you. But now every time you keep running to ask the friends, we also get tired. But she doesn't listen. Any money she gets, she's just buying, expensive clothes to show up and all that, and to show off and all that. I got tired, and one time I just told her, you know what? I don't want to mention those words here, but I told her hurting words. I started telling her family background. I was like, first look at your mother. Don't you think you're going to be in the same position like her? Would you really want to? Look at all these 3 kids. How are you going to take care of them? Look at their father. They have nothing. Actually, they're useless men. I even told her, you've really lowered yourself to go for useless men. In fact, you're also useless. I told her hard words. She cried. She cried. She wailed and all that for days. She even stopped talking to me. But to me, I know that she needed that. She needed to be reminded of where she comes from, where she's headed, and probably how she's, destroying her life. Because I kept talking to her, counseling her. I even brought in some friends of mine, but she didn't listen, So it reached a point, I think after like about 3 months, she told me, of course, one of the baby daddy unfortunately died. But the other one does nothing, rent, no, she pays school fees, and yet she doesn't do anything that can even earn her like $50 a month. So one time she came to me like, Sharon, I'm sorry I've not been listening to me. Yes, you said hard words to me, it hurt me, but I think they're the right words I needed. I needed to be reminded of my background. I needed to be reminded of what I was doing, I think you just talking softly to me wasn't really helping. So she came back to her mindset, and she kind of worked upon certain things, that was misguiding her and all that. So I think sometimes conflict reawakens someone. Some people just need. There's a thing they say, spare the rod and spoil the child. But also, again, in our tribe, they say that sometimes you need to hit a child, you need to make him or her understand, not like beating, but you need to go hard. And going hard sometimes means you're going extra for someone to try to understand exactly what you're saying to them. So yeah, it does
Okay.
bring some people on light.
Okay. Thank you, Shan. Thank you for your We need to speak those hard truths to ourselves sometimes, even as a couple. You have to do that. How much more if friends can do that, because sometimes you cannot physically do nothing, but the words would charge something on the inside of them to see that this way of doing stuff is not going to help anything in that marriage relationship. So thank you, Shan, for that submission. Lala, I'm ready for you. This one you've been doing like yo-yo on this platform today. Good evening, Lala. How are you?
Good evening.
Well, I hope you're good. Can you hear me? Because I can barely hear you.
I am great. How are you doing?
Fine, fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So, I don't know which angle you want to come. Do you want me to ask the questions
Just
or?
a question, yeah.
Okay, so the first question is, why do many people or many couples struggle to listen to each other effectively?
Nice question. But before that, Sharon must be aware that it is a principle that small cars give big cars respect. So next time you do better. Anyway,
I don't think Shan agrees with that. I'm not sure whether I'm
Yeah,
agreeing with that. It depends on the scenario, Sometimes you might just have to be the bigger person regardless. And sometimes, you get taken for granted. So there's a whole lot of things really. But yeah, we hear you.
well, number one, I think has already been mentioned by predecessors, the preceding speakers, that is ego, or
Okay.
you call it ego, depending on the primary school you attended.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go there again. Then the other thing is lack of interest. Sometimes when we lose interest in something, we give it less detail, less attention. So I think that answers your question.
Okay. Okay. So the second question is, can conflict ever strengthen a marriage? If you think it can, how? If not, why not?
Well, conflict surely strengthens, but also it breaks down at the same time. It breaks the marriage at the same time. But I want to focus on the strength side.
Okay.
You
That's what
see,
we're focusing really.
the only problem we cannot solve is the one we cannot sit and talk about.
True.
And I want to say that again with emphasis.
Yeah.
The only problem we can't solve is the one we cannot sit and talk about.
Indeed, I agree.
Table is a place of reality. And it takes high level of maturity and humility to come to that level of sitting down and discussing an issue that comes.
Yeah.
And that is why love is never enough to keep the marriage going. It takes uncommon
Oh, really?
maturity and wisdom to
Sorry.
relate with one another. Because whether you are from heaven or earth, you're going to have differences. Whether you're a pastor or you're a pagan, and sometimes that's why it is supernatural. There's a word supernatural, which means there is super and then there is natural. Those two work in tandem.
Wow.
You cannot depend on supernatural and you think all is well.
That's true.
there must be natural mean, and that comes down to how do we resolve our issues. Marriage is not just a coming together of two individuals. It is a complete clash of values,
Everything.
profession. It's a lot of culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a complete clash. What does that mean?
Mindset.
That means there's going to be left and right disagreement.
Heart, I see you.
So if there is will to work things out, marriage conflict can never break a marriage. And conflict does not come to destroy marriage, rather it comes to expose what that marriage, the foundation of that marriage.
Yeah.
Just like tsunami or typhoon or cyclone, they do not come to destroy things, they come to expose the foundation under which some of the things are laid. There are trees, when a tree is growing, a tree grows both gravitraffic and phototraffic. And gravitraffic, when a tree has a stronger root system, no amount of cyclone or typhoon can break down that tree. So those typhoon comes to expose so many things. The same thing with the marriage. When troubles, when disagreement comes, it comes to expose the foundation under which that marriage was laid. First of all, it's an opportunity to discover new ways of handling things. You get to find out what kind of partner you're dealing with or you're working with. So, to me, conflict strengthens the marriage, especially if there is will from both ends to keep the marriage going. So you remember, when two people come together, you're laying a foundation that some people will come and inherit.
Yeah.
So your union does not only affect you, it affects thousands of generations.
Yes, indeed.
There are children watching your behavior, watching your quarrels, watching the fight, and there are innocent souls in that house watching all these dramas. And what they are watching, it is conforming in their mind how things are done, how mother is treated, how a father is treated. They are in their mind, they are forming what marriage is.
Yeah.
So for the sake of that innocence, it's better you sit and talk about your issues. Because if we don't have better mechanisms for handling conflict, we are going to raise so many monsters.
Yeah.
So you don't just get a partner for yourself. You get a partner for a foundation that you're going to lay. The moment you have a child, you are already a generation, you're already a foundation. And mind the foundation you're living. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lala. It's one of the reasons we're always talking about this marriage talk, because the marriage really, at the end of the day, is not just about you and your spouse, most especially when there are children involved. Imagine two people struggling to be one, and now they have 4 children, they have 3, they have 2. Meaning these 2 generations you have, you're building in them your conflict resolution skills or not, if you're not. So, and these things, it goes a long way. They will take on the one from the world, double it, and this becomes their way of life. God helping parents, husband and wife, that they put the right foundation in these children. And as they're growing, they will attract more right ones, more positive ones. Hopefully, of course, the bad ones are always there, but then it's what they have that they can give. So we need to be mindful, because when we're talking about conflict resolution, I like where we're about ending it, is beyond our generation, the next generation, even the ones after. many generations after are going to be part of whatever foundation you have built in the very next generation. So we really need to be mindful. Like I say, marriage is a good thing God has created. And the reason you're seeing all the separation, divorce, is because of these things we have been talking about, and even many more as well. But are we ready to let go of that ego, to let go of that pride, to embrace meekness, to embrace gentleness, listening ear, just be there so that we don't keep struggling? Because this thing is just a matter of time. Some couple, they get to their wits end and they're like, call it quits. It's like enough is enough. They get tired because maybe it's one-sided, or nobody's paying attention anymore, whatever it is. And like Lala said, if you do not sit down to resolving anything, nothing is going to happen, really. Nothing is going to happen other than everybody drift apart and then you go your separate ways. And then you're left with these children shuttling mom today, shuttling dad tomorrow, chaos into their lives, which they never bargained for, just because you cannot resolve your conflict. I pray God will help us. Maybe that can be the wake-up call some couples need tonight, knowing that you're affecting the next generation positively or negatively by your actions. Perhaps this is what you really need to reflect on and then make the right decisions. And know this, that the two of you are meant to complement one another, not compete with one another. And if that is your watchword, you see, the love can only grow strong when you feed it with the positive things. When you keep taking stuff out, you're not growing the love. After a while, you just find out that what is actually left. And we need to be mindful. The fact that love brought you together means you started on that right foundation, and you can build solidly on that if we're mature, if we don't allow pride, ego, all these things we have mentioned tonight. And I pray sincerely that God help all of us. Marriage is a good thing. If we are not enjoying the essence of marriage, the goodness of marriage, then let us check each other. What are we not doing right? And I pray that God will continue to give us that grace to see even beyond the conflict, other areas of our lives that is affecting our marriages, and then we would find strength and grace and forgiveness and patience and tolerance and all of these things to make it work. Thank you so much, every single one, for your contributions tonight. Yeah, appreciate you. Leslie, I don't know. I've tried to bring you back. The thing is not probably allowing, but thank you. I can still see you there. Thank you, Leslie, for your contribution. Debbie, Lala, Shan, Susan, Elder Kenneth, thank you. However, before we go tonight, I have my riddle. This one is not tongue twister. It's a riddle. My puzzle tonight is a riddle. And I'm going to say, because it's too long, I'm not sure whether I will fit that screen, but I'm looking for a particular answer. Once again, thank you all. Thank you so much for tapping the giftings to one another and to this live as well. I appreciate every single one who has gifted tonight. Thank you. So, this is the riddle. The more you take away from me, the bigger I become. I can fill a room, but I take up no space. You can see me clearly only when there is light behind me. What am I? I'll say it again. You don't have to run. This one is not tongue twister. I just need one answer. And if you're there, you have to be in the box to get your gift. The more you take away from me, the bigger I become. I can fill a room, but I take up no space. You can see me clearly only when there is light behind me. What am I? So, any taker? We have just a few minutes to end this live tonight. So let's see. Any taker. The more you take away from me, the bigger I become. I can fill a room, but I take up no space. You can see me clearly only when there is light behind me. And what am I? Let's see. If not, I'll have to bring this back on Monday. Any taker. It's a riddle. Don't think too hard. Oh, Lala. Thank you. Debbie said, huh? Yes. Lala's just got the answer. Thank you, Lala. Thank you so much. Let's find your gift for you, and then I don't know if I would have said go Google it, but then I mean the fastest person will still have to answer whichever way. The more you take away from me, the bigger I become. A hole. You take more sand, you dig more, you find it becomes bigger, and it can fill a room, a hole, you know, and it doesn't take any space. That's all. That was quick. Yeah, that was quick. I was surprised. I think Lala is into all this kind of puzzle and stuff. So you can see me clearly only when there is light, because if there's no light, you might enter into the hole. So the answer is a hole. The more you take away from me, the bigger I become. I can fill a room, but I take up no space. You can see me clearly only when there's light behind me. What am I? A hole. Thank you so much, Lala. Thank you. On that note, we will call it a night. I know it's a long weekend for some, and for some it's next week. Well, midterms, we get to have a holiday, 1 week break to relax and chillax, even though some of us might not be doing that fully, but all the same, we'll still put our we'll let our hair down as much as we can. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your contributions. A13, I see you. Elder Digbenga, you've gone. Baritone, I don't know whether because he left, he couldn't come back. I don't know what's happened, but all the same, I hope you guys will see you back again on Monday, 8 p.m. UK time, where we'll talk about individual talks yet again. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you back Monday by the grace of God. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Thank you, Lala. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Elder Kenneth. This one, I didn't ask you to come and bite your tongue tonight. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Lala, as well. Susan, thank you. I hope you've given your husband his phone back. Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much. Good night, everyone. Thank you, A13. Thank you. Good night.